Yo, this is Beyonce and Jay-Z versus my mental health, or vs my mental health. Yesterday, April 15th, 2024, I was working on my story and pictures in my phone, and as I've shown on my YouTube before, and I got to here where I'm describing something, and we can get into this after I cover the main portion. But I go check my Instagram afterwards, and I see that Maggie Moon has posted like after just shortly after I had put this into my story and pictures that she spent a night with Jay Z. And I think this is meant to antagonize and harass and disturb me because, these people, as I've been talking about, specifically Beyonce and Jay Z, as if they're getting paid to do it or something, uh, have like made a point to get close to and like make me feel uncomfortable by using women that I've made a point to create art around or something because these women are already being used in this capacity to mess with me. And my point with this is that, as I've brought up previously, it very much seems like Beyonce is like obsessed with me or something, which seems strange on the cover. I mean, Jay Z too, but like it seems strange. Except there's a pattern over a long term about this. And recently, I kind of called them out in the James Samuel is Carl Mordo video, and just tore into them because I think they're phonies. In fact, I don't think that they're just phonies, and I believe I prove it out there. And, I think that probably they wanted to make a point to me. And I guess, Maggie Moon is playing a part um, in order to, I guess, empower whatever this game of like psychological abuse and harassment is. But like, again, this was, I think, from something that Beyonce and Jay Z went to Japan like not that long ago. If we go to Yoon Ambush, which again, I think they were at this event partially because I mean the whole Jay Z Beyonce and they're posting together. I was making a point that hey, like very clearly, uh, I'm one of the bigger holders, like the second largest holders of Ambush NFT stuff, and some of the even more rare Ambush NFT stuff, specifically like this. And there's only like 10 of these, and I think it's because they're trying to make kind of like abusive points to me. And like as I've said before, how they're you can get a point across like um, using text on a shirt or like hey, I'm pointing to secret lab or something, but it's whatever. And I think she's trying to point out that she's neutral, but people who are neutral in instances of abuse or oppression, which these wealthy people, it doesn't matter their skin color, have been trying to like psychologically oppress and abuse me. And whatever is empowering them to do so, I think is doing it for extremely evil and malicious reasons, mostly because I speak up against the ills that I see in the world. And these kind of people don't speak up because they want to be able to sell their image to brands so that they can sell you bullshit that you don't need. And I think they're abusive shitheads, and like it's evil that they would make this point. Oh, she's neutral. She's not neutral. She's just as abusive as all these other people, and they're making some really shitty points. So March 29th, I think, is when this right um, would have gone down. I mean, he's wearing the same stuff here, and it just seems to me like you know part of my point has been like Beyonce is from Houston and she's supposedly the queen bee. She's never here. They have a $250 million mansion in Malibu. Even the song Texas Hold'em is like, this ain't Texas. And it's like, that's the only thing I've heard from it because every time I don't even continue the rest of the song. It's not Texas because she's hardly ever in Texas. The whole point is that she's trying to mock Texas and mock Houston and mock whatever, And I guess for Jay-Z, or who honestly, for whoever's going to pay her. That's really the thing. Whoever's going to pay these people, they're going to do whatever because they're willing to sell their themselves, for uh whatever purposes, for money. Money, 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 money. You know what I mean? And I believe they specifically picked Maggie Moon to make like this point, and I haven't checked my Instagram today. There might be something else, but like even the way that it's put there is meant to be disturbing. A night with Jay Z, as if she slept with Jay Z, and Jay Z's between the two of them, and it doesn't. I'm not particularly worried because I think Jay Z is gay, or Gay Z and Cockefeller Records wanted beef, and then they got ethered, right? Well, so for a long time, I've kind of assumed, okay, if that's what Nas is saying, is probably it. But you know, I don't care that that's the thing. I just care that they're phonies and that they have a lot of influence. So this is what I put afterwards in my thing, and we can look at whatever else is there. But Beyonce and Maggie Moon affirmation. Is Beyonce Jezebel? This one seems a bit on the nose. Uh, Jay Z trying to make me feel uncomfortable is lame. Can y'all use your influence to make this place not suck so much? Why are y'all acting like such cunts? And that's just the reality. They don't use their influence in any meaningful way, uh, other than stand up for bullshit, kind of like meaningless, short term, kind of like novelty, like oh, fight the power. I mean, everybody can say fight the power at this point because it's like, well, what's the power? It's hard to engage with the power is. The power is a group of people known as the Nicolaitans from the end of the Bible. They're a group of people that are buying off your favorite celebrities and using them to put their boot on the neck of society, on the neck of the average, on the neck of the people. That's the Nicolaitans are victory over the people, or maybe even victory of the people, and it's like mocking it because I think it's victory over the people. But if in that instance, it's like, well, I mean, at one point Jay-Z was and Beyonce were just the people, but then they have a $250 million mansion. They got to pay for it somehow, and if being like kind of psychologically abusive shitheads pays for their stuff, they're gonna do it. I mean, that's just what this reality has shown me. So the fact that all of a sudden they're like, around these people that are well, why am I looking at Yoon? Because I am like, I liked their stuff. Again, I don't like that Yoon is. I think she's a shithead too. Honestly, I don't think she's a good person. I don't think any of these people are good people. I think they're, in fact, examples of really shitty, terrible people. And I think they're going to get what they deserve, which is eternal burning torture. So, I don't have to just sit here and harp on that part, but I do think this idea of like, they're just such fucking phonies. It's hard to believe. And it's clear from a preponderance of like a pattern that you can see over years that some group of people is very specifically trying to mess with me and hurt me and make me feel uncomfortable, make me feel lesser than. Like, look, I'm a dude who lives with his parents. I've been over the past since I've even like been dealing with these people, Rock Nation, Jay Electronica, like Jay Z, Beyonce and stuff. Since I've been dealing with it, I've been robbed, like, and the whole Stephanie Houston thing and all that bullshit. I've had multiple major thefts, hundreds of thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency. My car, I've been lied on by numerous people who are aware of the situation and have been willing to perjure themselves in order to not explain or engage that this is going on and has been going on. And again, they've even used the police here in Houston to lie about this situation to try to get me to shut up. And the police were more than happy to play a part. And seemingly, the detective on the situation, Detective Nick Vo, 100% was willing to perjure himself when it seems like he knew. I mean, unless, like, it seems like this is a public enough thing to where what I'm saying is the reality, that this person would have perjured themselves, that I can, I have enough, I think, circumstantial evidence that I can show that some people in this situation just have perjured themselves. But it's just really like shitty for me. Like, why do I have to go through this? Because I speak out against things that I think are bullshit. Because I'm not gonna shut up because fucking some celebrities tell me to. Because they're being paid. Their masters have paid them and told them to go do this, that, and the other, and make me feel uncomfortable. I mean, that's what it seems like, and I'm tired of it. I think they're shitty people. I think Jay-Z is a phony and a shitty person. Like, again, I'm not harping on him because he's gay. I'm not trying to like mess with, like, I don't care, other than that's a lie and he creates a false persona, and I think that that kind of thing is sickening and is killing humanity. So just being honest here, I think these are all shitty, terrible people, and they should be held to account publicly. Like, I do think that people should call them out for being such shitheads. I mean, actually. So, and again, the fact that like I created this, and it's hard to deny that it seems like the art associated with this is very powerful, and it even deals with like this idea of a suicide squad and witchy kind of abusive people. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like what they look at me as like, okay, that's the guy who's on the throne of Yahweh or something. Watch the throne, right? What do you think? What do you think this album was about? Watch the Throne. You think it was about the King of New York? Oh, watch the throne of the King of New York. Well, Jay-Z, I mean, Jay-Z may be from New York, but Kanye West isn't. And it's like, are they just gay dudes trying to like psychologically abuse me because I stand for something that, it's no church in the wild, right? It's like, what do you think this is about? Welcome to the jungle. I'm gonna tell you, when my dad was in the jungle, you know what they used to do in Vietnam? They used to burn the whole fucking jungle down, napalm that shit. So when these gay dudes are trying to make these rapey kind of shitty points, and they've impregnated and are like using these women basically that they have no connection to other than they're trying to make some kind of shitty abusive point to me and maybe other straight men, it just comes off as abusive and like, that they're rapey shitheads. And, that's basically, yeah, that's what Jay-Z is. And that's what these women are willing to empower, for the fashion industry, which is like, again, I don't have problems. Like, anybody that has been gay in my reality, I think all of them that have met and dealt with in person, you know what I mean? Like, not met in person, but that I'm friends with in person. Not that I seem to have very many friends these days, because I'm willing to actually stand up for shit that I believe in, and it seems like most people just want to move on with their reality and like, eat, sleep, do some robotic shit until they die. I'm not cool with that. But it's like, I just think these are phony. It's like she puts on a smile and on the inside she's dead because she's a shitty person who takes money to be an abusive shithead. Same thing with Jay-Z, same thing with Beyonce. I mean, it's not like, and with Beyonce's whole image is where she's trying to be a bad girl. It's like, because when I was younger, Destiny's Child, she wasn't like a bad girl. And like something taught her to be such an abusive kind of shithead. And like my guess, it's the rap industry. If you put an E at the end of it, it's the rape industry. And if you look at what's going on with Diddy, and I'm sure these people are involved, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he's been to Epstein's Island. 100% he's involved with whatever the fuck was going on with Diddy, right? I mean, like, all the people in the industry at high levels seemingly have some connection to it. So, like, what is this that these gay men are trying to, like, psychologically abuse and harass me? And I think it's this, that they look at the women, right, like Beyonce, as like a thing to conquest, but not like sexually conquest to like, not like because they desire her, or like these women like um, as like a love interest or someone they want to be romantically involved with or whatever. They look at them as eggs to like make more boys so that they can have sex with those men or those boys. That's what it appears to me to be. And I think the whole point of the thing from Revelation, the seven churches thing, is that, I'm the one conquering at the seven churches. I think the idols are men like this when it says foods that I've eaten, food sacrificed to idols. Like, that's the idea, is that these women have been set out as traps for the one who's conquering at the seven churches of Asia. And men like this who are just gay men, who are trying to put on a persona of being tough and stuff. I mean, he wants to look like Basquiat. Okay, well, Basquiat's a gay painter. I mean, like, I don't see anything wrong with being gay. My gay friends probably tell you. I mean, I've literally like saved some of my gay friends' lives when they've like gone a little too much drinking, too much like put themselves in dangerous situation. Because I just care, like I care about people as people. At a certain point, though, I've gotten to the point where I don't know if I care about anything at this point other than getting out of whatever this rapey evil situation these fucking rapey evil men empowered by rapey evil women have put me in. And like don't want to drop because well, they're responsible, they're evil, and bringing this out in public, like the news covers, like why the fuck is Jay-Z and Beyonce? Like Matt maybe sounded crazy until he can actually show this pattern, and then it seems like yeah, maybe they actually are fucking with Matt for some reason, and we don't have the whole story. And it's like yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And I've been trying to like bring the story out into the light. The issue is when I tried to do that previously, I was lashing out at people and like I wasn't doing it well. And again, they used the police against me and then lied to the police, and then the police lied when they knew that what they were saying in certain instances wasn't the case in order to shut me up because, like, you know, it's one of those things. You tell me to do something and I don't believe you have the right to do that. I'm going to tell you to, like, I'm going to tell you to shut up and I'm telling you how I feel about it. When these dudes are, like, doing the Nation of Islam stuff and I'm calling them out for, like, yo, Islam is, like, perpetuated a worse slave trade and has been worse for black people than anything that happened in the antebellum South in the transatlantic slave trade. They used to castrate the black men in the like as a norm in the Arab Muslim slave trade, and you know Arabs owning these dudes doesn't seem that out of the question. It seems just very much like what it probably is, you know. And so like it's just frustrating to me that like something is going on and I can't get people to engage that that's what's going on, that it's super fucking wrong, and that something should be done to these assholes. Like actually. And you know, I just think it's pathetic. Like he does not look like a strong black man to me. He looks like an insecure asshat. As do all the like Jay Electronica, James Samuel, like all these strong black men look weak and insecure to me because of how they're acting. Not because they're black, not because this, that, or the other. I clearly don't like I don't care about race, right? I do not care about what your race is. I'm mixed. I'm clearly white, but I'm also black, right? Bright skinned. I've heard that term and I thought it was great. So, but light skin, sure. Okay. I have no issue. You could even call me white skin. Okay, whatever. It's not his race. It's that he's being a shithead. When I was a kid going to like Destiny's Child concerts at the rodeo and stuff, it wasn't like it was just because I liked the music and I was like, "Yay, Beyonce! Yay, she's from here! Yay!" Because I'm from Houston. I'm in Houston. Okay. And I think the whole point is like they tried to make this point of like some dude from elsewhere came and took the queen bee and the queen bee is taken elsewhere. Well, I'm just going to tell you this about bees. I don't believe bees, the queen goes elsewhere. I think the queen stays in the hive that she's in. And since Beyonce is from here, well, it would make me, or from around here at least, it would make me think like, you know, she's not the queen. She's just a pawn in this. So I'm just trying to make this point. And I do think at this point, like, I'm pretty sure she's Jezebel. Like, I think she lost her fucking mind a while back. And these men have just, like, poisoned her mind with, like, abusive kind of rapey bullshit. And, like, she's happy to be the icon of abuse for a system that is just, like, willing to put its boot on the neck of the average Joe in order to continue a situation where it's like you look at the world today and it fucking sucks. And these people don't do anything to make it better, despite having more money than they need to and more influence, absolutely, than they need to. So, you know, anyway, I just, like, I'm tired of it, honestly. It's just like, at a certain point, it's like, what is it, first of all, that people aren't believing me that this shit's going on when it clearly is? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this is a normal fucking thing that I put together. This just doesn't come together from nothing. You know what I mean? And if it does, why do I get no props as like, holy fuck, Matt put something together that like I don't see other DJs doing shit like this. You know what I mean? I don't see Diplo putting anything like this together. I mean, they got all sorts of money and resources. Not like they actually do anything with it. Why? Because they want to make stuff to sell to you. Because they want to make more money. Because that's all they fucking care about. All these artists. I mean, that I can tell. And so it's just tiring at a certain point. Like it is like, why again? Why? Like what is the point of like this? To make me feel shitty? To like hurt me? I think you fell into a trap. Even like you're trying to trap me, and it's like, well, I made this, and then you're there. It's so obvious that this is an attempt to make me feel uncomfortable and make me feel like shit. And it's like, yo, why is the news not covering the Stephanie Houston thing? It's clearly happening. It's clearly aimed at me. Why not the Alessandra Ambrosio and Anja Ambrosio thing? Clearly fucking with me, or there's something going on with that. Are they my friends? Are they my dogs, or my enemies? Are they one of these traps or like things sacrificed to idols? And like this is the kind of thing that it's like, well, the idea of this person like the Jay-Z. I mean, is this Dragon Ball Z? Is this where I get the IP for that? Because it's just like this dude thinks he's like the dragon or something or whatever, and he's just like some poser loser who's trying to like make points to me. I live with my parents. Am I the loser in this situation if Jay-Z is trying to use whatever fucking means, or these women are trying to use him or whatever the fuck in order to make points to me? That would point out that I'm probably not just nobody living with my parents. I'm probably very valuable, actually, like high, more valuable than him if he's just a pawn that's like fucking being used in this capacity. And I would suggest the lightning stuff that I do, the earthquake stuff that clearly goes on recording, the volcanic stuff, the kind of ESP stuff, the people dying around my situation stuff, the like, the fact that all these women and fucking shit are like, whatever, and the fact that the art is clearly, the art that I'm putting out these days is like, I don't see anybody doing anything like this. And when I did, it's like I saw that a number of DJs seemed to like, for whatever fucking reason, after I put out the Simi Hayes mix, which was like 9+ hours long, like at least one famous DJ had to like, I saw a news thing where it's like, he did a 12-hour set or a 24-hour set or something like that. And it's like, they have to like one up, because that's all this is a dick measuring contest. And I'm not here to measure my dick. I don't care if I got a bigger or smaller dick. I just want to be happy. And all these people are trying to get in front of that and like make shitty abusive points because they're just evil shitheads. Like Maggie Moon might be a cute Japanese looking girl. She's Canadian. They're never gonna actually like accept her. Like all the Japanese whatever. But also just notice the men behind her too. I think the point is that multiple men are like double teaming her or something. But my whole point has been like, yeah, I know these women are being used as like vessels of psychological abuse. No boy that's growing up now should have to go through this because these women are fucking rapey shitheads. And they're using men like Jay-Z, who is just, again, I'm pretty sure just a gay-Z, I'm pretty sure is just a gay dude being used in that capacity. And like, the women are just being used for their eggs, and the men are just being used for their semen. And they don't really have a connection to each other. And I think the way that this works, actually, is like, hypothetically, in a situation like with Stephanie Houston or Alessandra Ambrosio, I think is a good example for me. Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio. Hypothetically, I'm connected to this person, right? They are, let's use Beyonce. I'm connected to Beyonce. Beyonce is connected to me. She's looking at me and trying to make points to me because she's connected to me, right? In like physically, because I think there's maybe it's a psychosomatic or some kind of thing. I mean, in the least, I think that's provable in the secular world, that people can be connected to the point where there's a psychosomatic reaction that's shared between both of them. And I think people know that. I mean, I've already brought up the Genesis 32 thing, the Proverbs 12:4 thing, and the Revelation 19:15 or 16 thing, where it seems that, like, okay, there's a method that you can strike somebody with that can physically hurt to such an extreme degree, and is, like, at this point, plausibly deniable, and I would have to prove it out. And I also just want to say, like, DNA evidence wasn't admissible in court for the longest fucking time, and now it's the gold standard. But there was a time where science hadn't proved it out yet. So even if you had DNA evidence proving something, the courts couldn't move. In the same way, I think I have enough evidence to prove these people are doing this to me, and it's been done to hurt me. And it has. It's physically hurt me. And they are trying to hide it because it's a shitty, abusive thing and they know they've done it wrong. But they're at the same time trying to play this game of like perpetuating it because once it's over, they don't have any value to their masters and handlers anymore. Right? Does that make sense? And so the fact that it's still going like this is just like, okay, well then that's exactly what this has to be. I don't see anything else. I don't see why this. Well, you know what I mean? Like, what was she? She just happened to be. You just needed her to sell your brand or something. Part of my whole point is one of the ways they perpetuate this is doing more evil shit. Like I think they are abusing children behind the scenes and being allowed to. And like at the same time, people are cutting me off at my sexuality and like not engaging the thing that I'm talking about. Like, well, biblically and just around the world, you can buy virginity, but like if I want to, the only sexuality that can be bought here is you can rent pussy, and that's called prostitution. I don't, I'm not looking for prostitutes. I want my own wife, and like at every instance, men have asserted themselves over those women in order to make rapey, evil, fucking harassing points to me. So I'm just fucking tired of it. And it's like, I don't think I deserve this. And I think, honestly, burning torture is what they are going to get. Infinite burning torture just to make a little bit of money. And, like, I don't even think this money is going to last that much longer. Like, I'm pretty sure there's about to be a major world event that just changes everything. And, like, so all their wealth and riches ain't going to mean shit for them, actually. In a society where you've been acting like this and you're called out in public, and then the whole fucking shit falls around the fact that all these celebrities and shit have been used in this really abusive, evil fucking way as like an art abuse project, you don't think that's gonna change fucking reality? You don't think people like, why are we working for paper? What is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, like this portion of the video where I'm talking about specifically kind of Jay-Z and Beyonce versus my mental health, you can take that they're also still like they're a big one. I think Beyonce is Jezebel. And I also saw something that was talking about racial overtones. Okay, as far as black women being called Jezebel, Jezebel is a biblical character, but in Revelation, it is the name of a false prophetess. It's symbolic. Why? Because it's not going to say Beyonce there. It's going to say Jezebel, and Beyonce is Jezebel. Get it? Does that make sense? Or someone else is Jezebel. I've made the point. Is Alessandra Ambrosio Jezebel? Because it seems like weird evil shit. Or is she the thing sacrificed to idols, and she's a woman that is connected to me very clearly, and like she's doing the same shit that seems to be going on with this other stuff. Her and Anja Ambrosio. And seemingly they've been used in this capacity to like beat me over the head with their sexuality. But maybe they could just be teaching me about what Beyonce and Jay-Z are doing with Blue and whatever the fuck. And like, and all their other children. And it's like, yeah, okay, well then all the men that are like abusing your children, they're all gonna die. Like what it says about Jezebel is gonna happen to Beyonce and, whatever. Or, I guess Alessandra Ambrosio. At this point, I don't really give a fuck. I want this over. I'm tired of this kind of like constant harassing abuse and shit. And just by the way, when I talk about this being Revelation, this is the seven churches things. But in the book of Daniel, which is like another book in the, it's another Bible book, right? But if you go to the book of Daniel, let's do that real fast. Hold on. Let's pull this up. Yeah, again, it's got some heat, don't it? So just real fast, we're gonna look at this. Like, this is where the Jezebel thing is. And if you want to bring up Jezebel and be like, oh, you're just saying Beyonce because she's black. First of all, I said about Alessandra Ambrosio plenty. So it's someone I can't exactly like. If I'm Iron Man, I have the iron rod here, right? The iron scepter, the iron Shebet, Brazil. Like my targeting system is trying to figure out exactly which one of these women is like the most symbolic Jezebel character. I don't think it is just a spirit. I can understand that people say it's a spirit of Jezebel. I literally think this is saying there is a specific woman, Jezebel, who has attacked me in the way that's described at the third church here, and set a trap for the Israelites. Jay, and I don't think it's Jay Z. I think the whole point is that I'm actually Jay Z. It's a Dragon Ball Z reference. It's not a Subway reference. It's a Dragon Ball Z reference. And I'm gonna say this. Uh, the idea is that they're trying to just steal my reality away because I'm the one on the throne, right? Watch the throne. We just looked at that. Okay, well, when it invites someone up on the throne here, it's not those who prove victorious. It's to him who proves victorious, or the one who proves victorious. I'll allow to share my throne, just as I was victorious myself. I took my place with my father on his throne. And, so it just seems to me like, yeah, that's exactly what this is. And, okay, so clearly there's some shit going on in Revelation, but really, this is all a rehashing of stuff in the Old Testament, and specifically in the book of Daniel here. And the book of Daniel definitely has a number of stuff. By the way, what I was saying is, Justine Skye makes a track called Jezebel. And, I think it's aimed at, like, being, trying to fuck with me. But I'll also just put this. If you want to go listen to it, I can assure you when I'm making art towards them, again, I didn't start making this shit until it was obvious they were making stuff towards me and making points towards me. So once that became so obvious, and the Stephanie Houston thing kind of took a really evil turn. They use this woman and she looks all chaste and stuff, but really my whole point with this is no, she's just kind of another fucking demon lady. Like, you know what I mean? And you want to talk about race stuff? She's the whitest looking lady I've ever fucking seen in my life. So, or one of them. So, it's just like, yeah, it has nothing to do with race here. I'm trying to diversely whoop all these people's asses because they're shitheads. That's how I look at it. But I'm just making sure that people can't try to bullshit this situation because that's just like I've talked about with the Synagogue of Satan thing. You say that, and they literally canceled Kanye over that. Well, they canceled him for a lot of reasons, but anyway, and just like that, when I'm I'll say this. When I'm at the Harris County Jail over this situation that I've been talking about, and right after I get out, for whatever reason, Kanye does one jail visit around the country, and it's here in Houston at the Harris County Jail, in the specific jail that I was held in order to make a shitty point towards me. Is he trying to say I'm actually Kanye West? Because I am on the throne that they're watching, so they're clearly fans. You get what I'm saying? But it's just really shitty that they can't open their mouth, and they would rather perpetuate this silent abuse, which is like, I think the Stephanie Houston character is a good example of like, yeah, it's clearly fucking happening. She wouldn't be making a thing called Matt if that wasn't the case. And even just to prove out more of a point, when we go to my Yo Matt Ya account here, and you just like look very clearly at like you know you could go through this and you can see that Stephanie Houston, I've just, after this stuff started happening in 2016, 2017, 20, that was like the thing that really kind of like spiraled my reality, because it was like, hey, there's like a siege, like a psychological siege engine built to like tear me down. And I don't think it's just to tear me down, but I think it's aimed at me, and it's happy to tear down anybody. Again, it's the Nicolations. They're happy to put their boot on the neck of the average person, on the neck of the people, for wealthy people, for sovereigns or some shit. I mean, I would think there's a reason the King of England and Kate and a number of other high-profile people are starting to get cancer in ways that are like, well, that's not normal. Yeah, because they're empowering this game of fucking rape and abuse that they've been trying to beat me over the head with. And again, it's rape if I'm connected to the woman, like with Jay-Z and Beyonce. If I'm connected to Beyonce, actually, like I'm physically connected through some mean, whether she's a witch and she's like connected to me, or whether I'm the king here in Houston or in Texas, and she's like, she's the most influential Houstonian, you know what I mean? Uh, Female Houstonian. And so something's making a point to me using her, and it's like, well, fuck her. I mean, at this point, but if I'm attached to her, and it's like, just, I'm attached to her, and some rapey evil men are trying to use her to make evil points to me, and they literally impregnate her in order to beat me over the head with like whatever kind of sexuality it is. Again, at one point I'm just like, well, fuck Beyonce, I don't really care. What do you think the Lion King was about? Again, it's just like one of these Disney things where it's like, yeah, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, as described in the Book of Revelation here. I mean, again, if we're talking about this kind of thing, Jezebel and Justine Skye with all the donuts behind her, devil donut. Um, we go to like fucking the Lion of the tribe of Yoda here, and it's like, hey, both Christ and Satan are referred to as lion, indicating great strength. Satan a roaring lion, and Christ is a lion of the tribe of Judah. But I would just suggest that the idea of a roaring lion, it's a something marking its territory, and it's like, well, to me, that's what this whole shit seems to be. Like Jay-Z is being used by these women because he's a gay dude. He doesn't give a. He's not trying to get with them. In fact, I think the real point is the men behind her and the idea that she's been double teamed, and it's like it's unpleasant to think about that. It's like poisonous and like sickening to think that these attractive women, which Maggie Moon is very cute, you know what I'm saying, and I like her, except that she would use her sexuality in this abusive kind of shitty rapey way. And I think also the point is like it's that these two gay men behind her, or they're straight men, and they're either they've double teamed her, or the idea is they're two gay men, and they're trying to. And this is why this is bad for gay people too. This is why at the end in Revelation, there's the angel at Revelation 10, where this would be why I'm the throne on the throne of the Lord of the world, and I am that one. Right? It's that like gay men taking women that are actually connected to straight men, and those women have connected themselves, or like have participated in that connection to do that, and then be used, maybe paid, in order to like strike that man down. And it I would suggest it's like smoking a cigarette. It hurts her too, but like that she's trying to make this kind of like rapey fucking evil point for money. And I think it's evil, and I think that would be the whole point of like the idols, food sacrifice to idols, is that two men using her, they have no connection to this woman. So like when I'm making the point with Alessandra Ambrosio, I'm making the point with and I've is that Jamie guy or Jaime? And again, it's more this J stuff. Dude's name is Sean. It's not J anything. Uh, but you get what I'm saying? Like that the whole point is to make kind of abusive points to the person that she's actually connected with, and that this is a way that modern day you could literally strike someone down, cause them great psychological, emotional, psychosexual, physiosexual, like psychosomatic. It's a way to hurt someone spiritually, emotionally, in all the ways that I've described. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Like obviously, it's not been good for my mental health that this shit is still going on, and that it just feels like people, I think, know what's going on and are staying silent on it for some reason. I don't know if they're afraid. I don't know if they've participated. My guess is something tricked them into participating, and they don't want to say anything because it gets brought out into the open. And yeah, they're shitty people too. Guess what? I think all of you are shitty, evil people. And like there is a burning infinite torture that if you don't speak up, you're going in that. And at this point, I don't give a fuck. You're evil to me. I don't care. You deserve it. So you should change your minds. That's a repent metanoia, and like try not to go towards that. That's my best suggestion. But I can't force you at this point. And by the time I can force you, I'm forcing you into the burning lake. I'm not forcing you to, make a decision. You've had all sorts of time to do that. So, I'm just making these points because like this shit just needs to end. I'm fucking tired of it. Like there's no reason for this other than to make some kind of point to me. And even if this picture was taken on March 29th, notice that's still after 3 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago is when I made the Maggie Moon mix. So all of a sudden, I'm making points that this is going on with these people. I make the Maggie Moon mix, and Maggie Moon is now all of a sudden shilling fucking cognac for fucking Jay-Z, and spending a night with Jay-Z, or is like the point. I mean, is this the whole thing that these gay men have like tricked Alessandra Ambrosio into like being? Is that the whole Jamie thing or Jaime thing? Is it's just this dude? But again, his name's not Jay. His name is Sean. And this whole Cowboy Carter thing is just like, shut the fuck up. Like you aren't from here. Like you might be from Houston, but you don't represent Houston, Beyonce. You represent a phony whore of a woman that like is using men to abuse someone who does not deserve it. And like, if people are mad at I'm saying that, fuck you. I do not care. At this point, this is my reality. And like, you're shitty people for allowing this to go on as long as you have. So to the news, who I've reached out to numerous times, y'all should be fucking ashamed. You're like participating in this. I mean, it's evil, and you're evil, and you aren't the real news. Like, this is kind of my whole point. It's like, you gotta be run by, like, this gotta be something is like keeping the news from presenting, hey, for whatever reason, why are people making fucking evil points to Matt Wilkins? Like, what the fuck is this? You know? But anyway, so kind of my point also, the sacrificed idols thing is like, maybe it's two people who are calling themselves gods. Oh, hey, the Nation of Islam thing rears its ugly head again. A great way to make insecure black men think they're strong by calling themselves God. I don't call myself God, and you can see the fucking crazy stuff that I do. I'm the one sitting on the throne of Yahweh by the end of the seven churches thing because of going through this evil fucking situation. And you know, the thing like I've explained is, I know that Jay Electronica didn't have a dad growing up, but my dad, Rayfield Wilkins, taught me this. A man isn't someone who's puffing out their chest, like beating it and like fucking trying to pretend that you're all tough and shit, because you aren't. You're pussies. If you if you weren't, you'd engage me face to face on these issues. They can't. I'd eviscerate them, especially relating to Islam stuff. But in any instance, and you know, them perpetuating this, that whole stuff in Gaza and shit. I'm pretty sure if there's someone with a big enough voice that just says like, yeah, these are just Arabs pretending to be Palestinians. Palestinians are an ancient people group. Even if they are those, the Quran says that they're a wicked, corrupt people, and the land is given to the children of Israel. So what the fuck are y'all trying to argue about? There is in no way that that's Palestine. Though they are Gazans. Gaza's mentioned in the Bible a lot. Gaza's never mentioned in the Quran. Palestinians are never mentioned directly in the Quran, other than they're the people of Jalut. And we don't even have to go into that anymore. I'm just going to say this. This is my whole point. That gay men pretending to be like, you know, they want to look straight and whatever for some group of people that are using them in order to like dictate what this, that, or the other is. I don't know, it sounds like fashion to me. And I don't have an issue with fashion. I have an issue with what I'm describing, which is why I think, again, in Revelation 10, the angel that puts his left leg on the land and his right leg, probably relating to how my right leg is about to like sink in, it feels like. I mean, you know, become like a whole after kind of proving this point out, is that there's a rainbow, a giant rainbow over that person. You know, signifying the Noahide stuff, but also signifying probably just to modern day people. I'm representing more of an ally to you than these people are, because these people are going to get you in fucking trouble, because they don't care about being gay or straight. They care about making money and being evil shitheads. That's just what it is. They're insecure. They're shitty. Like, you know, if they weren't, they wouldn't be acting like this. It's just, that's the measure of how insecure and shitty they are. They have words. They could use them. They don't. So if they want to, you know, engage face to face, hey, I'm happy. Jay-Z, Beyonce, you want to come sit down and we can have a talk face to face on camera here? No? Because I just proved that you're bullshitting and you don't really know fucking anything about anything, and that you're just tools and pawns being used to like destabilize America and the West and like all sorts of bullshit. Like, yeah, okay. Well, that's fucking obvious. But, you know, anyway. And, you know, by the West, I just mean like whatever group of countries that ultimately around the world makes up what we generally consider like the good guys. And by we, I mean whoever's part of that group. Because, you know, to Iran, America's the great Satan, and, you know, fucking Israel's the little Satan, even though y'all worship a knockoff of the God of the Bible. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are literally the adversary. I mean, and you're allied with Russia. Their bombs are literally called like Satan 1. Like, the fuck? America didn't call bombs and shit like that Satan. You know what I mean? Like, it should be really fucking obvious who the Satans here are, and it is not America. Just FYI. But, you know, these fucking lunatics would have you believe that America is the bad guy. And America's not perfect. At all. At all. It's just not nearly as bad as what those people are doing. Like, you know, the gays for Palestine stuff. Bro, try being gay in Palestine. Or, you know, Gaza. Palestine. They're gonna fucking kill you. You like don't pretend that that's not the reality. No Muslim nation's gonna allow you to be gay. That's just what it is. You gonna argue with me about that? Oh, the Christians hurt your feelings, but the Muslims will literally hurt you and kill you. The Christians hurt your feelings. If that's even the case, if the Christians hurt you, yeah, I would suggest they aren't real Christians. That might also be a hint, like, oh, maybe this guy's right, because if they're actually adhering to what it says in the Bible, they're probably more focused on what Matt's focused on, making this place a better place and like providing sexuality for like straight people and stuff, than taking away our sexuality and stuff. Blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's all sorts of points that I could make, but I can't make. It's like I'm already 45 minutes into this. I have a bit more to go, so. And maybe I'll even try to cut it before an hour, because I just this is like already going to be too long. But you know, my point with the Stephanie Houston thing is you can see all the times that I've reached out with my Yo Matt Ya account thing, and so the fact that all of a sudden she has like the you know, hold on, all of a sudden she's doing this actually, let's even just go to my playlists so you can see my whatever VS my mental health. Stephanie Houston is Matt. Why do you think she's doing a project called Matt when there's just, like for years I was reaching out and like, this is how I defend myself. This is how I make these points, like to these people. Hey, Maggie Moon. Hey, 2018. So clearly, like, this is someone that I've reached out to, and for all intents and purposes, you get messaged at by someone. Like, there are people with more larger followings that have blocked me on less. So if they're seeing this, there's a reason they wouldn't just block me. Does that make sense? Part of it is because they're trying to make art towards me because they're getting paid or some bullshit like that. And like, this is the kind of thing where it's like, whatever that they're using her image because they want me to be connected and invested in her emotionally, and then they want to use these men, these rapey fucking evil shithead men that are around her, whether they're gay or straight, I don't give a fuck. Clearly Gay Z is standing next to her, but it's the men behind her that the point is trying to be made. And I think the left hand, right hand stuff is like, okay, on one side you got the sword, and on the left hand you got the shield. And Gay Z's shield is this woman Maggie, I guess. I mean, like, actually, Margaret Natsuka Gibb. And like, part of it is like, I don't have anything against her other than this kind of evil shit that she's participating in, and that for such a cute, like, beautiful woman, she's just an evil shithead, and I'm fucking tired of that being the case, because that's a lot of women these days. And y'all are fucking making me sick. I think you're making humanity sick. I think you're literally making the earth sick. There's a reason in Revelation it says it's time to destroy those who are destroying the earth. And like, the bad guys include at the very end there's a bunch of men. There's also several evil women characters, and they're probably representative of just what's going on with women these days. The whore of Babylon. I mean, most women these days are just literal whores, like, actually, which is like sickening. I think it's sickening for humanity, and I think it's killing humanity. I think it's destroying the earth, actually. And no, this isn't a gods and earths thing. The Nation of Islam bullshit. This is just what it is. So, anyway, I don't have to tear into them more than like, I'm just laying out this is clearly happening. But they should feel bad. They aren't good people. And like, there is only burning torture for them because of them using, Gay Z there. I'm making the point that he's gay and he's hiding it. And why? Why is he doing that? Like, I'm asking now. Now I've flipped it on. Why are you acting like this? You're clearly gay. I don't. It's not that I care that you're gay. It's that you're trying to take women's eggs when they're connected to, hypothetically, Beyonce is more connected to me. It looks like it. And I don't give a fuck about Beyonce. And that's probably why she's doing this kind of shit, because she wants my attention. She wants, that's why these women seem to do this. They wouldn't have the attention of someone that, I think when I look at them, I think the heat that I'm putting off is like, it warms them up because they're just generally cold and dead. They're dead on the inside. They're ice cold, right? And to most people, they're ice queens. To me, it's like the opposite. It's like bothersome to me that they're, you know what I mean, like that they're doing this to me, and I'm trying to pull it out into the open. Like the whole thing with Alessandra Ambrosio. I'm clearly enamored with her and Anja Ambrosio. I like am happy to see them be Jezebel and shit if this just fucking ends. I don't want to spend any more time dealing with this bullshit. If she wasn't, she would just end it because at this point it's so fucking obvious. It's hard to believe that this isn't over. Like even this picture was posted. I'll put it like this: 7:25 a.m. is when I like screenshotted this, and I'm putting this all together. I could actually bring up the exact time, but let's say on this one 6:07. So I'm like taking my time trying to make some points in my story and pictures here because this is the way that I can document that this is happening, and like it's somewhat of a protection for myself, somewhat, but it's not perfect. Um, and at some point, I think, like hypothetically, this earthquake happens and I'm just so ahead of the game and stuff. These people are fucked doing this because it's like I'm looking at the screen and it's on this side of the screen, but it's this way. Um, they're fucked. It's like if a ton of people die because of your fucking rapey evil actions, people are gonna want to skin you alive and throw you into the burning lake. They're not even gonna stop with the burning lake. They're gonna castrate you and skin you alive, and you probably deserve it because you're just like again, you're using your fucking sexuality in order to stamp down on people who don't deserve it for wealthy elites and shit. And Jay-Z, you can see all the stuff that he wants to like he is enamored by these people, the occult and shit like that. And it's like, I know more than them about all this shit. Their stuff is theatrics. It's theatrical. It's not even real. They just have a lot of money and resources, and they're willing to do stuff for attention. The Marina Abramoviches of the world and shit like that. And guess what? It would appear they are abusing children, and I mean abusing them from a young age. That's the whole point. And I even think that's kind of the point of like the third and fourth church thing that I'm talking about. They get these men who are gay men. They pump children into these women that are connected to hypothetically me or something. And then they use that whole situation in order to tear me down and try to cut me off at my sexuality and prevent me from having any normal life or sexuality. Like I could go to a bar and like hook up with some chick, probably. That does not appeal to me. Right? Where do I find a wife that's not a whore? That would appeal to me? Nowhere. I don't see it in church. I don't see it at any of the churches that I've been to. I don't see it online. You know where I see it? Virgin markets. That's why in the book of Revelation, 144,000 virgins for the one on the throne, Jesus, the one like a son of man on Mount Zion. And that's the idea of him sharing his meal with the one that conquers the seven churches of Asia, just so you get it. And some of this it seems like probably Alessandra and Anja Ambrosia have been sacrificed to idols. Like that's what it appears to me. If that's not the case, I mean, I want them to be my dogs. They're my dogs. My friends, my dogs. They're my dogs, but also my dogs. Like woof woof. But and they can have them on leashes and stuff, and basically be like what I had said when I had said that in my story and pictures, and then the thing that Kanye is doing that with Bianca Censori because again, these are just fucking fans of mine that like won't leave me alone and won't stop psychologically abusing me, and something's empowering them. I don't have a ton of fucking money to do this shit. Like actually, again, I keep getting like my money stolen from me in ways that's trackable, and it doesn't seem like the police. The police fucking at this point, I'm almost positive would listen to the people who stole my money before they would listen to me. Unless, again, public accountability forces them to. In the same way the 260,000 cases, including rape cases, where the men went on to rape again, and that's been proven out recently. Fucking the news showed that. And it's like, okay, well, hey, news. This is a big story. You should probably cover this. It's only going to get, like, more obvious, too, if they let it go. And then at some point, it's going to be they're going to have to. But then it's going to be that they waited for so long. It's not like you waited because you were trying to work with me. No, get the fuck out of here. They're just liars. Like all of them. So please, to the news, for your own benefit, because I'm positive Yahweh is not happy. And the way he's been striking people down with cancer, when you start seeing all these news people starting to get cancer and their families and them are dying from like all sorts of weird and terminal diseases and stuff, it's like, well, you are implicitly participating in this by knowing about it and ignoring it. Because at this point, you know about it. I've already sent it to enough people. I can already see that it's going on, that they know about it. And I think they got me on some form of like, I don't know, QTV or something, like quantum bullshit, where it's like, I think they got a big computer aimed at me and it's trying to contain me. The issue is like, you're not going to contain Yahweh. You can contain Matthew Ray Wilkins. Yo, you got me. Yahweh is going to tear this bitch a new one. And by this bitch, I mean the entire planet. You get that? You don't want to be on the other side of you were trying to prevent Matthew Ray Wilkins from like having a normal, like, healthy life for a bunch of rapey evil shitheads because you're getting paid to. You don't want that bad juju on you. You get what I'm saying? So okay. We're 56 minutes in. I also kind of want to add when I was, like here's an example. This girl Light, right? I've posted stuff about her recently because she clearly is aware of this type of shit that's going on with me. As she's saying here, you see this thing like Spirit is showing you behind the veil. When she says Spirit, it's because they don't want to say they want to say any other name besides Yahweh. They'll say the Most High. They'll use any title of Yahweh. They won't say the name Yah or the title Yahweh. Why? I mean, the name Yahweh. Yahweh's a name, not a title. They don't want to say this name because it then locks them into having to engage reality based on what that deity, what that spirit has said the reality is. So, unless she wants to say, really like come out and be like, no, I believe in Yahweh, Matt's right, and blah, blah, blah. Spirit, it says test the spirits, and based on what I've tested, she's a phony and a liar like all these other fucking people. I'm just tired of it. And I'm so tired of black women and black men being used in this capacity too. I don't understand it because it's not like the world that's being created for you is any better. It's not like the world being created for anybody is any better. But what did I do to you? Other than I'm calling these phony fucking people out that are like, they're clearly in the wrong. Like, you're only in the wrong based on the fact that you're doing this shit too. Spirit is showing you behind the veil. You've been chosen to experience the merge of all timelines. Okay, well, how about you drop this snaky bullshit? There's a literal snake there. As I've said, a snake is nothing but something for me to step on its head and crush it. Behind the veil is the apocalypse, right? The veil, lifting the veil, behind the veil. Okay, you lift the veil, you unveil. That's called an apocalypse or a revelation. So when I'm talking about revelation, this is the revelation. This shit's going on. And in contact with spirit. I mean, okay, test the spirits. I'm testing it. It's just obvious that people are watching my situation and don't want to speak on it. That's why I'm like, fucking it. The news is so shameful and evil for doing this bullshit. You need to speak up on this. Again, when very prominent news anchors start getting fucking diseases and terminal illnesses and cancers in front of everybody and just die off in front of everybody, you're going to deserve it. And I'm not going to feel bad at all. You deserve it because you're fucking evil and you're playing a part in this evil fucking abuse that's crippling me and has been torturing me since I was a fucking child. And we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, it's been going on for a long time. So the fact that they've been participating since I was a child, where they try to cut me off of my sexuality, literally since I was a child, they're trying to cut me off from a relationship with girls and women, is fucking evil. It just is. Okay. And like kind of to prove my point, the light stuff. It's like, well, you can just go here, and it's like my most recent thing is Light Shield, Black Cat emoji. You watch that one, or like any of these other ones, Stars Cartel and Light Shield. I mean, part of my point is like, hey, the Nicolations. That sounds like a cartel. Like people paid off to be like abusive shit, like stars and celebrities paid off to be abusive shitheads in order to like take control because they just feel like they're just gonna die one day, so they might as well just make money from being it. And it's like, well, long term suicide's like smoking cigarettes. We'll get into that in a second, but it's like, hey, Stephanie Houston, local news story. It's clearly happening. This is clearly aimed at me. What do you think? 10 years from now, this just goes away? Like that the news didn't cover like probably what would be the story of the century, right? I mean, like, hey, a bunch of stars are abusing the guy who's apparently on the throne of Yahweh. I mean, if you ask Jay Z and Kanye West, because that's how they're framing it, watch the throne. Well, I'm on it. Like, watch. How about you listen and do? Don't just watch, listen and do. Uh, anyway, it's fucking tiring. It really is. And like Olivia Munn here, when Olivia Munn dies from cancer because it just comes back and because she's an evil shithead who raped away a woman's reality in order to have a kid as a rape joke with a comedian, she destroyed that woman's family and her relationship with her husband. But I guess same thing. Ariana Grande did that shit too. So it's just common amongst celebrities these days to act like fucking evil cunts of people. And it's like, this is my point. Why are y'all acting like such fucking evil cunts? Like at any point, I'm pretty sure like some random person could just run up on you with a pencil or something, and John Wick you like that. But like they wanna I don't know, make evil rapey fucking harassing points. And I brought this up because it seems like the thing that these fucking beasts do here, and beasts like beast bestial men that have like traded their kind of rash higher thinking to act like fucking animals. And the idea is that they speak words against the Most High and harass the saints of the Most High. And the Most High is Yahweh, right? Jesus and Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, is Yahweh on the throne. Jesus, one like a Son of Man, is Yahweh, the Son, who's also then on the throne. And then the Spirit that they share is the Holy Spirit of Yahweh. That's called the Trinity, except there is no Trinity in the Bible. It's just called Yahweh, and that's who Yahweh is. A Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit between them. I will say these beasts are, I watched the beast was killed and its body destroyed and committed to the flames. Well, I mean, is this the perdition? I remember Jay Electronica was on the road to perdition, and I will say it seems like some evil shit like that has gone on with Jay Electronica, and he's just some phony. Like when I was in the jail, nobody knew who fucking Jay Electronica was. None of the dudes from New Orleans knew who he was, and he wants to rep New Orleans like, oh, I'm not from Louisiana, I'm from New Orleans. It's like, no, it's Louisiana is a state that is surrounding New Orleans because New Orleans is a city in the state of Louisiana. I mean, you just want to be so original that you just come off as idiotic and like fucking insecure because you are. So, like, is there anything that you actually add to anything? No, they don't. That's why it was the road to perdition. You wanted to put yourself in a position, be a man, beat your chest and stuff. Again, if I didn't say this, this is what my dad has always taught me. A man, a man is someone who takes responsibility, not even for their own actions, but who takes responsibility and does what they need to do the right thing, And these people don't at all. So just and my guess is the idea is that they're trying to make me feel like uncomfortable, like I don't know, some man or some group of men. I mean, is the idea that Jay Z is gonna impregnate fucking Maggie Moon? I mean, like I think that's what they're trying to. Oh, hey, that's what they're trying to get over. And if they did that, then yeah, you're gonna be executed. Like I 100% people are going to deal with you, and there's the burning lake for infinite torture. But like at this point, at the point that happens, it is so obvious you've killed yourself in front of everybody to make this kind of rapey point. Do I care with Maggie Moon? It wouldn't feel good, but really, it's her decision to be a rapist whore. I mean, and if that's what she decides, then she can bear the consequences of it, right? Surely it wasn't meant for me if that's the case, right? So I'm just trying to like get this in a very like make it really fucking obvious that this is what this is is trying to imply that that's what a night with Jay-Z is meant to like imply. They had sex or something or whatever. Even if they didn't, it's just meant to be bothersome to me and harassing. Well, they do it without saying anything. Yeah, because they've literally made this a game of like silent harassment and abuse. Hypothetically, I'm deaf, right? I don't have the faculty of hearing, right? It's not a sense that I have. Could they be making points to me in the way that I'm claiming they're making points to me? Would it be more obvious if I was just fucking deaf? Do I gotta put, hey, if I just always have these things, like these little earplugs, if I just go around like this, like, I can't hear you because I'm deaf, but I can see you and I can clearly see what they're saying, right? And in our modern day society, you can be doing this and there's no consequences. In our modern day society, if you're speaking out what they're trying to do, there are actual consequences. Like, or in the least, it's a lot harder to pretend it's not happening. And once you step over a certain line, then yeah, there are consequences. So like it just seems really fucking evil. And again, I'm a dude that lives with my parents, and this is what's going on when I was claiming it was going on previously, except we've gotten so far extended into it now. Literally, Jay-Z has to like actually step into the picture, literally step into the picture in order to represent the thing that other men were being used to represent. Why? I think they fucked up so bad allowing this to go on as long, and I didn't. I think they thought I was gonna kill myself or something. That's the at least what I get from the Alice. I know from the Stephanie Houston, like that story with Stephanie Houston is Matt Maat, which again is that just towards Alessandra Ambrosio and her gay bestie Matt with one T. And is that whole thing just to fuck with me? Because I'm Matt, and like, you know, again, I think I have a connection with Alessandra Ambrosio that is being exploited and abused or something. Definitely something's going on between Alessandra Ambrosio, Andra Ambrosio, and myself. So what exactly is it? Are they my dogs? Or are they a trap? I made a 4 hour video. You can go and watch that. It's in the playlist. I mean, it's in the versus my mental health playlist, which this one will also be in. So I'm hoping this won't be 4 hours long. It doesn't need to be. But I mean, I could go on for hours and hours and hours, and probably days and days and days speaking about this. But okay, let me kind of get back to like. Just give me a moment. Oh, some news. I clicked the news thing because it had a thing here, and I always usually click it. There's Bob Graham, ex-U.S. senator and Florida governor, dies at 87. I mean, is this some kind of whatever? Is this some TikTok star Kyle Marissa Roth dies at 36? I didn't mean to click that. I just meant to click the next thing. Grammy award-winning crooner Steve Lawrence dies at 88. I mean, it's just like all these people are dying. Also, does Elon Musk have a body double? I mean, this is just off topic, and like and I'm gonna oh, hey, look, someone who made false accusation got in trouble. I mean, like actually. So, and maybe the women that have made these false accusations around my situation, maybe they're actually going to be held to account at some point because it really fucked my life up. When people were already fucking my life up. Okay. So like, I just wanted to bring this up with Elon Musk here. Does Elon Musk have a body double? Obviously, he's aged a bit, but like, how how has his eyes changed? Like in different pictures, like he has blue eyes here and he has brown or black eyes here, and some of the features don't look the same to me. Uh, in the least, the eye color thing is like I've seen across a number of pictures, and I noticed this because I noticed like, wait, didn't I just see a picture and he had blue eyes? What the fuck? So this is what I'm saying is like is this a like go through it and figure out if that's the case, but there's some weird shit going on, and I think it's because I don't even think he's actually the one like in charge of X and stuff. I think it's like he's just the figurehead, and he's a figurehead with a like a with body doubles. So it's like when I'm bringing up the fact that I think some of these women have body doubles, and I'm being like they're trying to like fuck with me. Like I've said about Stephanie Houston and Alessandra Ambrosia, and I'm like, and Anja Ambrosia. I'm like, do they have body doubles, or are there multiple of them? Like, did their body doubles have kids too, or something? I mean, it seems like because I think the idea is that if I'm some kind of seer or something, or people are trying to test how perceptive I am. First of all, Yahweh's not gonna let you. Yahweh's gonna let you do that, but he's gonna fuck with you the entire time because Yahweh knows, and he can just. Oh, it's not a whisper really. It's I'm trying to make a point, but it's like it's like a tugging on the heart. Like, wait, didn't I just see? Or how about this? Comes to conscious. Didn't I just see pictures of fucking Elon Musk? He has blue eyes. What? How does he have black or brown eyes right now? How do they have brown eyes? You know. Anyway, so work that out for yourself. I've said that again. I'm gonna probably keep saying it because that one seems pretty much like I think he probably has a body double or multiple maybe, or they're twins or something. I don't know. I can say this like with Simi Hayes, I can tell which one's Simi, which one's Hayes pretty quick, or which one's Sama and which one's Haya pretty quick. It's not that hard, even if their hair is cut. I haven't even looked at them in a while. If you put them and they had the same haircut and everything, they were wearing the same clothes, everything. I think I could still tell from the faces. Um, and being that they're identical twins, that's probably it carries over to other people too. So this is what I'm saying. I think people are trying to fuck with me, and it's like, well, Yahweh will let you think you fucked with me for a while, because you have, but then he just tells me. I mean, does he tell? Does he whisper in my ear? No, it's like an intuition thing. It's like, wait, what? Oh, maybe I'm getting this idea, this strong idea. That's what I mean. Uh, so okay, I guess all that's left here because I don't want this video to be forever. Like I'm gonna do this though. I'm gonna pull this up like this, and I'm gonna have this over here because I'm enjoying looking at this volcano. I also think the threat of the like, I'm not sure that anybody's gonna be thrown into this specific volcano or like vent or whatever, but the idea of the burning lake ain't too different from what I see there. So yeah. Um, so this whole thing started, and I think this is maybe the reason that Maggie Mooney had even posted this because it might have seemed as if they got caught out here. And I also just want to say, like, okay, if you look between, this was what I shared immediately. Like, I had been typing, like this thing, and then when I just finished it, and then I went and checked my Instagram one last time before going to bed. Yeah, I went to bed at 7:20, 7:30 in the morning, something like that, because I just live on a weird schedule. Partially because having to deal with this bullshit all the time is just very stressful. And in any instance, what do you expect me to live a normal life if this shit is going on around me? It's very difficult to live any kind of life, let alone a normal one. But it's like a night with Jay-Z, and so you see on one side, you see what it says, and maybe this is either about Jay-Z or maybe this is about the men behind Maggie Moon there, uh, or the idols or whatever the fuck is going on. But then you see how it says A and B, right? And it's like it's pointing to A, bomb site B, right? And so it's like bomb site A, but in the middle is the trash can in Dust 2, and this was from a while ago. But you can see God said smoke out, and curry stuffed pita bread said fire in the hole, and then God said fire in the hole, and then Kalu Jesus killed Rip Salty Hydra because like I think those are I killed the Hydra here. But anyway, oh, and my stat track P250 is at elite. So yeah, I just thought that was a great picture to share for this. And then you got some other pictures of Counter Strike here. The names on them. That's where I was playing as Yoda. At this point, I'm playing as Yo. I'm still playing as Yo. Oh, oh, maybe you can see this picture better. But the idea of this one is like I'm going from like A or B, and I'm like, oh, let's go with B. And so option B is this like this is actually just an easier as much as I want to look at the glowy volcano and stuff. Option B is Beyonce Jezebel. This seems a bit on the nose. Jay Z is trying to make me feel uncomfortable. Jay Z trying to make me feel uncomfortable is lame. It really is. Like, aren't you supposed to be like cool and stuff? It just makes me cooler than Jay Z, and I don't care. I care that they're instead of like helping me or doing anything useful with their influence and money, they're just bought off by this is the idea of the Nicolations victory over the people. They're bought off by some elite group of people. Elite, not really. They're just fucking people who've stolen power and exert victory over the people. The we the people. And can y'all use your influence to make this place not suck so much? They could, they just don't. Why? Because they're bought off and they're evil fucking people. Why are y'all acting like such cunts? I actually do want an answer to that one. Why are you guys acting like such cunts? Silence. Anyway, um, okay, if we go up a bit, I just want to show a little bit of this. So I think one of the reasons that they might have done this is I was on Twitter on the 14th, like the day before, and oh hey, look, this is where Angelina Jolie, from Wanted, goodbye. I don't know if you remember that scene, but you should watch that movie and just that's what I'm getting at. And then also we got the um, Lego Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm Lego Joker. Maybe Alessandra Ambrosio. She's wearing purple in that one. Maybe she's Lego Joker. And then Harley Quinn, right? Lego Harley Quinn. The joke is actually I'm Lego Joker, and then Alessandra and Anja Ambrosio are my Lego Harley Quinns. Um, there's just one. There's just one thing. Uh, you know, Joe Sandra featuring JM. Val Y Mo. Did Val do something? Anyway, so you got here. You got Rihanna, right? And the idea of like Rihanna, like I saw this on Twitter, and it was like Rihanna and like remember that time that it's just in my recommended that, and this is kind of my point. It's like why is it showing me this? But I was able to use it. So here's where Rihanna. Oh, this is Invaders Must Die. By the way, I shared that because in this one, this says don't be a mug. And that's something that I've recently. I mean, I'd heard and I know what that is, and I've heard what that is. But then I looked it up, and because from this track that I put in, "Run with the Wolves" by the Prodigy, they go, "You're a mug." Anyway, it's why I'm gonna hunt you down. You're a mug. Okay, well, here in the United States, that's not a terminology we use. When I hear you're a mug and I'm drinking coffee out of a mug, like, and my mug has Superman on it, I was like, oh, I'm a mug, it's Superman. But the idea that I'm getting at is like, okay, well, I recently just like kind of familiarized with myself with the term, and all of a sudden, Irina Shika Slama Slova, Irina Shayk, uh, you know, shares that, and then so I share, the Warriors Must Die, like you're a mug that I put in a mix, the Maggie Moon mix. Huh? Who would have thought? And also, it seems like maybe she's affirming. It says U4, the fourth church thing with Jezebel. Okay. Um, and it's you got a black heart and a white heart on this, which is like emojis that I use a lot. It wouldn't be hard for an AI to be like, I'm like, all right, how much does she use these emojis? How much does it look like she's trying to use these emojis to get at me in this? Which part of my point has been like, this is the way that people are trying to fuck with me. It's like little things like this over and over. It may be like plausibly deniable at a point, but I mean now, but like at a point, I believe I'm gonna be able to get the AI to be like, hey, there is an obvious pattern to me as a person. I know that you're gonna be able to sniff this shit out like that. Please tell me what the probability, like, how often does she use this? When was the last time she used this emoji? What do you think the probability is that she's using this specifically to communicate a point with me? Especially when the imagery of like the dog imagery and the other stuff, and the feet and the don't be a mugs thing, and like just things that if you watched me over a long period of time and you're trying to make points to me, that you would get from that. I also want to point out that, hey, look, it's like Lego Joker's thing looks like the colors on the mask that I've recently put up there. Also, one of Alessandro Ambrosio's friends or cousin or boyfriend or something, whatever the fuck he is, he's wearing a shirt that says New Orleans, and I think the whole point after this whole thing with Jay Z and Beyonce is like it's making a point about New Orleans to me because that's where Jay Electronica is from, but nobody from there seems to know who the fuck he is because he's a phony and a kind of a worthless asshole. So just like it's not because of any other reason that he's a phony and a worthless asshole. If he was maybe any better of a person, that wouldn't be the case. But you know, do something with your influence. It's like going and dating a Rothschild and then saying the Illuminati is mid is like, well, they're just paying you. I mean, it's not that is so fucking obvious. It's like hard to believe. When I engage the shit, didn't the Rothschild just die? Like one of that dude just die? I mean, he was old, but like, what I'm saying, the situation around me where wealthy people like that have been trying to fuck with, me and my family is, but specifically me. I can't talk for my family. They might be acting like shitheads too, to be honest. I can't get them to speak up on an issue that is clearly happening and is wrong, even when at least one of them has said it's clearly happening and it's wrong. So like, I don't know. They should speak for themselves. I would suggest you speak out boldly because like that's the only way this shit ends. It just is. Unless you've done something wrong, and then well, congrats, you really fucked yourself over and you've hurt everybody. But okay, so look, you got Rihanna there, and Rihanna is and it's just Jared. Is this Subway? Not Yahweh. Is it the Subway? It's a joke, but it's also like I think that's a joke that they're trying to fuck with me on about. It's like whatever your jokes are, they aren't well received. You're not very funny. Like I know I'm at least in the darkness and all this shit that's going on. I still got some light because I'm at least a bit funny, even if it's just to myself. So fuck you. Anyway, so unchristian. I'm the dude on the throne. I give a fuck what you think, let alone what other Christians think, because most of them don't even say the name of the one on the throne, which is exactly why the one on the throne would put his name on me and invite me on the throne, because that's three of the churches relate to keeping with the name. Which name? Yahweh. That's the name of the God of Israel. The Israel that's under attack by a different deity that calls itself God, right? Allah. And that these kind of people like, well, I don't know about Rihanna. I haven't seen any Nation of Islam bullshit from her. Though she wants to be anti. It's like, okay, well, anti what? Like anti-Christ? Okay, well then what you're asking for is a world that it's fine for someone to just walk up and shank you down. Like any of these people that are behind you or whatever the fuck. Like it's fine for a world where they abuse and rape women and whatever, because that's what, the Antichrist would be down for. So if that's what you're down for, I mean, then you're an evil shithead. And kind of my point is like, well, prove to me that you aren't at this point, because all your art and all that you are and all that the people you hang around, it kind of shows me and tells me like, yeah, you're just evil fucking shitheads. And you're using being black as like something to like, oh, well, I can't because I'm oppressed. It's like, you're a millionaire. The average person, maybe the woman next to you, I don't know how wealthy she is. She is not as wealthy as you are for sure. She could probably run with that one. You and Beyonce cannot. You guys are too wealthy and too accepted by the same people you're claiming are whatever leading the systemic whatever the fuck racism and bullshit. They could fix it all if that's actually the case. But since you're working with them, yeah, I doubt making that claim's really going to help you. So, okay, just making the point here. And like, I want strong black women. I want strong women. But it being abusive does not make you strong in the same way like beating your chest and being tough and does not make you a man. See, and so this is the way these people operate. They know that they're going to be filmed in public. It says V files. Is that like V from Vendetta or V from the show V? Or how about this Metal Gear Solid V, the Phantom Pain, and V, the character Ahab, partner of Quiet or Jezebel? Huh. So anyway, these women who are being quiet or acting quiet, and they have shit literally written on their clothing in the same way that I'm like, what are you talking about? A secret lab? What are you talking about? It's like, well, she has fuck off with cigarettes written on her knee, and then on the other side it's O book. And I've already gone over the O thing, but if I had to go over it because it looks like someone gets pregnant and I gotta prove out the point that like, well, this is what this was about, I can just point back to this video. But anyway, so she's here with Ethan Hawke. Isn't that the therapist from Moon Knight? Yeah. Okay. Uh, Harrow was that what he went by? I obviously he's in other things, but get a Moon Knight. What is this? Hold on. What is this? Uh, uh. Oh, here's actually the one that I have right above the Moon Knight one. Hey, it's Black Panther. Looks like that's probably me. Looks like hey, it's Moon Knight. Looks like it's probably also me. We're gonna go over the superhero stuff, but it looks like all of this is just different aspects of my reality and ways that I'm showing this out. But I'll tell you this: Egyptian, Khonshu, or their joke really, the late dynasty Egyptians, Ja or Ya. Ha! Hilarious. Moon Knight. Okay, and here you got. I'm gonna pick that up because I want to put it on my computer, but that's how I feel about it, in the least. And I don't want to later be like, oh, why the fuck is this on the ground? Uh, is this the deity Bastet? Hmm. Oh well, do I got to go back to the fucking Stephanie Houston thing and show? Well, it looks like Ray in the other room and his daughter Matt right here are trying to prove a point that y'all are shitheads. The deities that are claimed by these things are not as powerful. Though I will say, Yah or Jah is not just the moon deity of Egypt. You can also see why I'd be a clown, can't you? That one's pretty obvious. Don't need to say anything about the Joker to have been yoked into being a clown here. Just is who I am. So, okay. So she got this shit written on her, and again, it's very clearly says "fuck off." But I think the idea of the banana, and this is something I've made a point with recently. Is it someone got a hand job, or am I gonna get a hand job from somebody, or because what I think this is meant to imply is that at some point someone gave someone a hand job and like did it publicly, like on a like publicly in pictures on, and they were this person that I'm talking about was suggested that they were put in my way. They were put in my way, and they had given someone some kind of hand job in order to sacrifice them to idols or something. Is that what it is, or are we talking about someone's gonna give me a hand job or something? I mean, I don't know. There's a mic behind her, and it looks like I can see some watches. So we'll see, huh? But it does look like what Rihanna. Oh, Rihanna here is suggesting, "Oh Nana, uh, uh, can I stand under your umbrella, Ella, Ella, hey, hey, hey." I think I got an Umbrella Corporation one actually. Hold on. Oh no, I think I lost that one. I think I lost that one, or it's like somewhere in the closet there. But the Umbrella Corporation one with it was on my old Instagram, so and it might be somewhere on my Twitter, but in any instance, it looks like she's trying to with this picture. It's making a point, like, well, she's gripping the cup as if the banana, it's the same thing as the banana, and like I've already done the banana symbolism and like the blowjob banana symbolism, and probably there's a reason the banana man. I'm making a point on the banana man stuff, but on my Counter Strike games, but I think that this is like, she's trying to make a point there, right? Does that make sense? And again, left leg, right leg symbolism. So, okay, just making points. Oh, hey, look, suggested for me. I wonder why this person would be suggested. This little doggy here. Oh, doggy. Oh, doggy. This little doggy here. Is she my dog? I don't know. Is she my dog? Maybe her family would have to tell me if she's my dog. Her and Alessandra. Hmm. But okay. So what I'm trying to point out here with this stuff below it, though, is so the name Ambrosio, and this is gonna be like this is what led into what I think. Also, this says Wolf Audrey. Like, I can at least say I brought up Adriana Lima as someone who's done some kind of evil shit towards me. So, I guess don't be a mug. But okay, Immortal. Ambrosio is a masculine, blah, blah, blah. This is like when I looked it up, what is the meaning of this name? And then it's not actually a Filipino origin, it's a Greek origin. That's why it says it's a variation of the Greek name Ambrose. So then we go to the next thing, and it's like Ambrose is a given name. It's derived from Greek ambrosios, meaning belonging to immortal god like. Okay, ambrosia, food of gods. Keep that in mind. Ambrosia, ambrosio. There's also a reason why I have a mix. Yoya, ambrosia, ambrosio. Ambrosio, ambrosia. Uh, so Ambrosius, this is just when you look up Ambrosius. So this is basically me like going through, well, what does Ambrosio mean? And then like finding out, what it means. Because I think like when you play World of Warcraft and the characters are named something that's just related to what they are, you know what I mean? Like Smithy this blacksmith or something. You know what I mean? Okay, well, people named Smith generally at some point their family was a blacksmith. So there's more people were more like NPCs, and I think we're reverting back to that because at a certain point more people were like the player, but these days more people are like NPCs, and they're fine with it, and they think like, oh, we're just gonna die at some point, and I'm not gonna deal with the pain. The burning torture has to disagree with you, and as the one who divvies that out and gives that to people, puts that on people. Trust me, you don't want it. Don't just fear the person who can kill your body. Fear the one that can kill your body and soul and spirit in burning torture forever. This guy, you should not worry what anybody else has to say or tell you or whatever, because they're lying. Does it seem like I generally lie? No. Seems like I'm more honest than fucking anybody that I've ever known ever. And at least I try to be, which is considerably more than you're gonna get from pretty much any of the people that I'm showing you. Or you think Jay Z's gonna be honest with you? He's clearly a gay dude who's trying to pretend like he's like masculine. Oh, fuck Beyonce. I'm blah 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 blah. It's like unpuff your chest and like hold yourself to a greater standard. Come on, you're acting like shitheads. Um, Ambrosius, ambrosial, divine. Oh, ambrosia is Greek pastries. Old Testament written in Hebrew, New Testament's written in Greek. It's just what it is. So that's why Greek is important in this. Okay, Latin. Neither of the testaments are written in Latin, though all of it was translated into Latin. It's called the Vulgate, and so that's why the Roman Catholic Church reads from Latin, but originally it was in Greek, and then the Old Testament's in Hebrew because it's a bunch of Jews and they speak Hebrew. Oh, anyway, uh, and no, Jesus was not a Christian. Just for all the Jews, Jesus was a Jew, and he's making points, and he's the Christ or the Mashiach. That's what they're. Those are synonyms. Christ and Mashiach or Messiah, same words. Anointed King. He's the anointed King of the Jews, not just of the Jews, of the whole world. Just like there's well, he's a special case, but okay, we're gonna move on because I want to get over the Ambrosio terms. So ambrosial, divine, divine, immortal. All right, we go to Ambrosius. It's a surname. All of these are things that I've clicked. It's like just I tapped on one and I moved through the things and took screenshots. Um, so descendants in different languages, like Ambrose in English, right? Or Italian Ambrogio, or Ambrogio, or Portuguese Ambrosio. I mean, I think I don't. I don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I live here in Houston, Texas. I hear all sorts of accents. I'm not gonna be able to place which one is which, other than we got a lot of people from Mexico here, or from Central American and you know south of the border. Does that make sense? But I'm an ignorant boy. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant. I'm just an ignorant boy. Don't you know what I'm saying? Am I? Am I? Maybe that's me being the yoker. Okay, then for some reason, Vietnamese Ambrosio. Is one of your kids Asian? Hmm. Anyway, uh, Ambrosio, borrowed from Latin, which is borrowed from ancient Greek. Might as well just say borrowed from ancient Greek. Ambrosius, immortal. Let's keep going. Oh, and then when it goes into English, Ambrose is the. What am I saying? English variant derivative. Whatever. If you put an X at the end, it's Ambrosex. Are they doing incest and stuff? Is that what's going on with the Ambrosios? Could be. I don't know. Maybe people engage what I'm saying, and like, if I brought up something that's like, "What are you fucking talking about?" It's like, well, someone's doing some evil shit. You guys gotta engage what I'm saying because this shit's about to explode, literally. When this earthquake happens, holy shit, this is not gonna be good for y'all. Okay, and by y'all I mean anybody participating in this silent game of harassment and abuse. Immortal, divine, Homeric epithet. Is this The Simpsons? Homeric epithet of everything belonging to the gods. Uh, by the way, it's not a word that's in the New Testament. You don't find it in the New Testament, but we'll get to a point. I did actually find it is in like my Jerusalem Bible. It is one use in the Septuagint, but we'll get into that in a minute. Oh, hey, look, Ambrosio in Vietnamese and phonetic Ambro, G-O. Is that who did someone in a position of power tell her to have kids that she wouldn't otherwise gonna have? And by she, I mean Alessandra Ambrosio. Is that why I get a white stone or something? Because like someone in a position of power basically used my wife connected to me, or a woman that had been connected to me or has been connected to me, and like has raped me by essentially like paying her off or what I don't know, promise her something in order to be. I don't know, you'll be famous and influential and have money forever and be protected. And it's like, okay, that's much less than being God Empress of all existence, which is what, you would be if you're with the guy who's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So selling yourself short for like some random person in a short-term position of political power or some like I'm saying for some I don't know some gay men or something like that are like again it's not that they're gay that's the issue, it's that they're lying and that they're using people that are connected to me, which is why probably if you're gay you should listen to what I'm saying and be like, we don't want that to happen because we don't want bad relations. We just want to not be fucked with, which is, I think, yeah, that's reasonable. Most Christians shouldn't be fucking with you if they're actual Christians. Actually, that's the point. They should be treating you like you're their neighbor, you're their brother. You know what I mean? Like, hey, they should be treating you kindly and fairly, as Jesus said to. It doesn't say that in the Quran. In the Quran, it says to kill you. So don't listen to what Muslims tell you. They are going to fucking lie to your face. I'm gonna just tell you what it says in the Bible, and it's to treat you with the golden rule, and that's what it is. So, and if they don't like the Westboro Baptist Church thing, those aren't real Christians. They're fucking phonies. I'm pretty sure they're in and of themselves. I think they're like a family having incest and whatever weird shit's going on with them. So just don't take what it says in the Bible. Don't listen to fucking what people actually like what people who are Christian, because I can't even get Christians to say the name Yahweh. What do you think they're actual Christians if they don't say the name of the God that they follow? I mean, that one's just so fucking obvious to me. What do you mean you're a Christian? I've never heard you say the name of the God you supposedly follow. Please tell me. What's his name? Jesus? I mean, close. What does Jesus change his name into in Revelation? He would have done that 2,000 years ago. God? What's the name of that God? Jesus? Oh my God. So I got it right? Yeah, you got it right. It's Yahweh. That's the name of Yah. That's why you say hallelujah. It's praise Yah in Hebrew. Yah. 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 Why do you think fucking Beyonce has a song called Yah Yah? It's because she wants to taunt out in public because she's already been caught out being like an abusive shithead of a woman. No, she's not a good person. No, none of these people are good people. Yes, she's facing eternal burning torture for being a Jezebel whore. I mean, that's just like, it's not because she's a whore, it's because she's abusive shithead. But you probably should stop being whores if you like. Jesus forgives the women that are actively whoring in the Bible. He just says stop sinning. I would suggest you stop sinning before you're like in the burning lake. It's just what it is. We're going to a place where you can have so much more. You're doing it for money, or for it turns me on to be naughty, and it's like I think that your brains are broken. I think that all of our brains are broken because something is putting a stress on our society. It's trying to. Something is trying to. That's the idea of a group of Nicolaitans, people that are, using their elite status to like put their boot on the neck of the average person. They're paying people off. They got false prophetesses and shit. Like the one thing that I learned from all this shit on on YouTube with all these spirit people is just like they just say shit. It's like spirit has told me. What spirit? This is why it says test the spirits in the Bible. What spirit? Jesus' spirit, the Jesus that died and was resurrected. Don't give me this bullshit from Islam like, oh, he's just taken up to the right hand. We're closer to fucking Christopher Columbus than Muhammad was to Jesus. If I just started saying that Christopher Columbus was like, if I make some shit up and like pump his ass, like, oh, actually, Christopher Columbus didn't just discover America for the Europeans. He was a great man towards the, whatever, and like, he ended slavery and shit. And it's like, no, he didn't. What are you talking about? Okay, same thing when all these Muslims start saying shit about Jesus. Don't listen to him. Like, Muhammad was 500 years in the least after anything that happened in the book of Revelation. That's like 100 years after Jesus was here. You know what I mean? Like, come on. After Jesus came and died and was resurrected. Not, I guess he's technically in the book of Revelation, but, he appears at the very beginning of it, but he's like a super saiyan in that one. He's like a superhero. The idea is like he's in an ascended form. But okay. Look, you can see it says etymology of ambrosia, the food of the gods, thought to confer immortality, the anointing oil of the gods. Any food with an especially delicious flavor or fragrance, anything delightfully sweet and pleasing. An annual herb historically used medicinally and in cooking. A mixture of nectar and pollen prepared by worker bees to feed larvae. Any fungus of a number of species that insects such as ambrosio beetles. Oh, is this why the blue beetle thing? I brought that up in a video that's in my hard drive, but The main character's named Jaime or Jamie, and like the Blue Beetle, and it just seems like again, am I like and the same reason why when I bring up the give me a sec, it's not gonna take that long actually. Like you go here and then like hey look, it's the Blue Beetle. Yeah, this one's kind of blue and pink and purple, but yeah, it's right. Is it an ambrosia beetle? Okay. A dessert made of shredded coconut. Oh, let's see. Any fungus. Oh, I already said that. Any fungus of a number of species that insects such as ambrosia beetle carry as symbionts, farming them on poor quality foods such as wood, where they grow, providing food for the insect. A dessert made of shredded coconuts and tropical fruits such as pineapples and oranges. Some recipes also include ingredients such as marshmallow and cream, a plant of the genus Ambrosia. Okay, and then also, so like it's the food of the gods, right? You see this word here, manna. So then when I click manna, manna is the thing you get hidden manna in the Book of Revelation at the third church, which deals with food sacrificed to idols, right? I mean, this one is even like literally is just like on the nose, which is why I'm making the point here. In the same way I brought up the other thing is just on the nose. We're getting to the point where it's like even a computer AI would be able to be like, yeah, he's just tying things that are obviously connected, right? So I mean, like, okay, when I pull this up and it's like the one who proves victorious, I will give the hidden manna and a white stone with a new name written on it, and only the man who receives it. But the white stone, which is opposite the black stone, which came around at least 600 years later in the time of Islam, because Islam came around 600 years after the final book of the Bible was written, 5 or 600 years. I mean, it's really like there's no manuscripts of the from the early on period in Islam, so you know, and we don't actually know. It could be the Abbasids created it. We don't know if Muhammad was a title. We don't know. We do know a lot about, and I mean we as in secular history, not like what fanatics of any religion have said. But it seems like the Christian fanatics are way closer. It's hard to like even secular scholars have a difficult time debunking a lot of the points that are just like there's enough manuscript evidence to show how old this is. There's enough archaeological evidence in Israel and elsewhere. Like it is just truth. The Quran is a fan fiction knockoff. It's a poorly written one. That's why I think there's the white stone as opposed to the black stone, which is the cornerstone of the Kaaba. The white stone is the cornerstone, the stone that the builders refused from, you know, I got to go to the Psalms here. I know it's Proverbs, but I'm going backwards because it's right here. Where it says, it was a stone rejected by the builders that proved to be the keystone. This is Yahweh's doing. It's wonderful for us to see. Also, so the keystone, by the way. I just want to make sure you get this. Oh, are the builders the Masons? Maybe. We're going to talk about secret societies and Jay-Z being a Freemason and shit. The stone that the builders refused has become the head stone of the corner. You get it? So this person that has been rejected by these people in a society, maybe a secret society. Doesn't seem like the Masons are that secret these days, but uh, in a society. Oh, is this the turn? Is this Act Two the turn? Because even the thing that Beyonce is doing is what what Jay Electronica was doing, which was the Act One, Act Two, Act Three. But he never got to Act Three, at least not publicly. Why? Because it's just all bullshit. He's just a black man owned by Arabs trying to puff up his chest, but really he's a pussy. If he wasn't, he would engage me face to face on any and every point that I have to say about Islam. but he's a false prophet. He's a loser. I mean, that's just what it is. Me living at home doesn't make me a loser. Him being a liar and like, basically being a bad example for all sorts of people and just being a liar and shit. Again, none of the people fucking in the jail knew who Jay Electronica was, except one dude who was a basketball player. I think his name was Sean Williams. I don't know. I had to get in my in my Bible because I had all the names of the dudes that I was in the jail with. Cool with all of them, pretty much. Um, Again, none of the third ward from New Orleans dudes knew who Jay Electronica was. None of the seventh ward dudes who were this the seventh ward guys, specifically Chinchilla Perp, all very very nice to me. Cool dudes, like actually very cool dudes. Not like good examples of men other than whatever they did to get in jail. Uh, but I mean, for real, like none of them knew who Jay Electronica was. I was just like, "You've never heard of this guy?" They're like, "No." But I thought he was from the streets. I thought he was real. No, not even fucking close. And again, he had a Bruno Mars kind of a Bruno like this movie, right? Bruno. This is Jay Electronica, Bruno. I mean, actually, the whole thing of him having a kid named might as well be this. This might as well be Jay Electronica. This dude, not the baby, but Jay Electronica, right? Why? Because I'm pretty sure he's just a gay dude who's like pretending to not be gay, trying to puff up his chest and act strong and hard and shit. And he's just owned by the Rothschilds and some other very wealthy people. That's what. Why would they let him date anybody in their family? You know what I mean? Without if these are people that run the world, why wouldn't they assassinate him or some bullshit like that? You know what I mean? Like, what is he too tough? No, he's just bought and paid off. But yeah, this might as well be Jay Electronica. And kind of my point with this is like, what am I trying to say? Like the kid Mars. Oh, hey, Bruno Mars. I wonder why Bruno Mars came out all at that one time. What does he say? Something hallelujah, right? Hey, yeah, Bruno Mars. His kid, Jay Electronica's kid Mars, he's trying to like make a point, like, and when Erica Badu and she's all connected to fashion and stuff like that. Again, I have no issue with gay people. Like, you catch me, you go to my pictures when I was more social and I was going to pride events and like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make your decisions, I'm gonna make mine in life. But if you do some shit like this to be evil and rapey towards me, yeah, I'm gonna call you out on it for being a shithead. And they're creating bad examples. Don't do that shit. If you're gay, just be gay. You know what I mean? Don't try to prove to the straight men that you're gonna like assert over women or whatever in order to like we're tougher. It's like, no, you're more of pussies is what you are. To Jay Z, Jay Electronica, Jay whatever the fuck you want to be. Are you mad that I'm calling you out? Do you think whatever? At this point, does it look like I care? I mean, it's not like they haven't already thrown me in jail over like calling these people out on bullshit. Because yeah, I'm actually not in one of these phonies like they are. Like, well, am I? I mean, I'll leave it up to you, but it doesn't seem like it to me. It seems like I'm an actual dude going through some shit, and like these lame fucking shitheads have caused so much problems for me. I'm just like, well, my parents are old enough. You know what I mean? They've lived long enough. If you want to come and kill us, I mean, like you would do that anyway. So it's like, you know, I know where I'm going. I know where they're going. So I know where me and my family are going. I mean, if my family's not acting like shitheads, I'll say this. I know where I'm going. I'm content with that. You know what I mean? It ain't in the burning torture. I'm going up, up, up. And by up, 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 I mean up onto the throne because I don't think I'm going to die. And even if I am to die, I know where I'm going. But by the name of the Stone of Israel. So this is my whole point with this. Is to show like, okay, there's a black stone in the Kaaba. It might as well be a fucking the Venom stone I already made. I've talked about this in different videos before, but it's just a black stone. So, and you go kiss it and it forgives your sins. It sounds like a complete knockoff of Jesus. Jesus is the white stone. The black stone is this literal stone in the corner of the. So it's the cornerstone of the Kaaba in Mecca, and they go kiss it and it forgives their sins. Now, if that's not a fucking obvious rip-off, knockoff fan fiction of fucking the Bible, at what point does the news start just covering like secular science is like secular archaeology, secular everything it's very easy to disprove pretty much everything relating to Islam. It is just a phony. It's not even a religion at this point. It's just a bunch of people lying about some shit that can be proven is false. Whereas the Bible, there's manuscripts that are literally 1,000 years older than Islam. Literally, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I'll say this: the Dead Sea Scrolls are like 800 years older than Islam, in the least, 800 years older. And you go and read the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you read a modern version of Isaiah. It's the same thing. Well, a modern Hebrew version because it's written in Hebrew, but it's not hard to translate. Whenever I hear Joe Rogan talking about it, I'm like, Joe, why don't you get a little learned? How about you invite me on your show, or like have me, we could talk on this. I live in Texas. I didn't even come to Joe Rogan's thing. Why don't we talk about this, Joe? You keep saying some shit that's just not true. Whenever I hear, what does he always say that, it gets lost in translation? It's like that it gets translated this language and this language and this language. No. Hebrew translates directly to English. It is very easy to translate. It's like a computer language. Greek is the same language that still exists in Greece today, pretty much. Koine Greek and modern day Greek, they're not that different. As I'm going through the Ambrosius thing here, showing kind of like these words that are the same that we still speak come from these languages. Latin comes from Hebrew. Comes from the what they want to call the Phoenician or Proto-Sinaitic script. Guess what? The oldest version that you can actually read that still exists is just Hebrew. So I would suggest that all these like speculations of these coming out of anything other than Hebrew, no, it's just an old form of Hebrew. And secular science doesn't want to admit that, yeah, the Jews have it. Congrats. They don't want to admit that. But the Jews do have the language that seems to be the language of the West. Even Arabic is just completely out of that. But okay, I don't want this to be a bajillion hours long, so I'm going to move on. Anyway, talking about the Stone of Israel, we go back. That's, I believe, the stone with the new name, when it says by the name of the Stone of Israel. And then in Revelation, you're going through some shit where people are sacrificing women's sexuality or food to idols. You get a hidden manna and a white stone. So you get a hidden ambrosio and a white stone. I mean, is that with a new name written on it? Not only the man who receives it. Is that the Stone of Israel? Probably. Yeah, I would assume. I mean, actually, even if that name was Yahweh, it still feels like Matthew Ray Wilkins is the only person that seems to know what the fucking name on the white stone would be. But in any instance, is that what it is? Well, I'll tell you this. It's a white stone with a new name written on it. The name written on him was known only to himself. This is the one on the white horse. You know how Beyoncé is like, her new thing is like she's on a white horse. Because she wants to be this character, but she's a knockoff. She's probably the whore of Babylon, actually. But in any instance, let's go to... I mean, actually, the name written on him was known only to himself. So it's a white stone given to a man, and only he will know that name. And then the name written on him was known only to himself. And then all the other things written here are things that are either represented by the person giving the stuff to the seven churches or the person receiving the gifts of the seven churches. And if you combine those things, it's just this person here is that person. Oh, so the person getting the gifts is the same one receiving the gifts. Congrats. That's why I'm saying I'm pretty sure I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh. If you don't like it, refute me on this and do it well, and then we'll talk. refute me on these points that I've made, and then we'll talk. Not just in English, you gotta refute it in Greek as well, and possibly Hebrew. And since you can't do that, shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do. And since most people already shut the fuck up about this, okay, we're at a good place. speak about the wrongs and ills that are going on, but as far as this stuff is concerned, where it's like, this is clearly what this is talking about, shut the fuck up. Okay. Not that anybody has actually challenged me on any of this, because it just clearly makes more sense than, oh, these are church ages. No, they fucking aren't. Get out of here. The fact that you have to have the thing from the second church in order to, like, when it says, like, let nobody take your, like, hold firmly to what you already have and let nobody take your prize away from you. Okay, well, when it says, I will give you the crown of life for your prize, it should be pretty clear that it's a person collecting all the gifts from these different churches, right? And by the time you get to the sixth church, this is about when the earthquake happens. I don't think we're that far off from that one. But anyway, let's keep going. So, all this to say, at the third church, you get the hidden manna, and it's related to food sacrificed to idols. Is Beyoncé the food sacrificed to idols, and the hidden manna is Alessandra Ambrosio? Cool. Alessandra Ambrosio is beautiful, sexy elf queen. Andrea Ambrosio, Neanderthal face, sexy little cave woman. Maybe my dog. In any instance, let's move on. So the mana you get here, right? If she's my friend or friendly or my dog or whatever, or I'm like stepdad or something, in the least, I would think she wouldn't be hurt by that and she would find it hilarious. At the most, she would be a bad guy if she like probably if she's a good guy, she's taking it like he's funny. If she's a bad guy, she's taking it like I don't like him anyway because she doesn't like me anyway, and she's already at war with me. So it's what changes. So calm your tits to anybody who's gonna be mad that like, oh, that's so mean. You see what these people are fucking doing to me, and have been doing since I was like, I think I can prove out since I was like 5, at least, maybe 4. I mean, literally, you can see it on my face that something has crippled me. Like, you can literally see the thing that I'm talking about, where one of my eyes is clearly fucked up and one of them isn't. And, like, it's representative of everything on my right side is crippled. Like, is it crippled internally? Yes. I'm cut off at the toe. I didn't do it, and I'm trying to fix it. But it is something that is not just like, hey, physical therapy is going to affect this. I have to, like, I think I got to prove out there's a greater situation going on and overcome in that situation. Okay. Greek manna, Hebrew man or man. Biblical food miraculously produced for the Israelites in the desert, book of Exodus. Any boon that comes into one's hands by good luck, sugary sap of the manna gum tree, blah 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 blah. So just take it as food miraculously produced for the Israelites, or I'll say this: the hidden manna could be any boon which comes into one's hand by good luck. So if it looks like I'm just constantly getting lucky, well, there you go, hidden manna. I would also suggest Yahweh makes the luck. If I'm going to be on the throne of Yahweh, He's going to make the luck for me. I mean, it's like loaded dice. Also, interestingly enough, in Greek, it's close to the word grandmother. Mama, probably. Here it is in. So, oh, hey, it's right next to the word mania. Madness or frenzy. Or where we get the word mania from. Because we still speak a lot of these words in our modern day English. Same thing even with the Greek. You see the word manna is just from the Hebrew of manna, and then man, you put a hey at the end, manna. Oh. So manna, manna, or man-na. There's the women am I proving out to the women like, I'm a man? Nah. I'm just another lady. Something like that. I don't know. Could be. I got to be accepted in the tribe of women. And it really takes some abusive Jezebel-like woman to like prove out that like, yeah, she did the thing that all these women would complain that men are doing, but she did it to me and I didn't deserve it. And I don't deserve it. And they won't stop and they've allowed it. Which is like, yeah, so you're as bad as all the men you claim to fucking hate. Which is why I think the Revelation 19 thing is. It looks to me like that's a point where a lot of people get their dicks chopped off. But you can birds of prey, and they're out there. They got double edged swords. Take from it what you will. I would totally be happy if a bunch of women, bit the dicks off of a bunch of evil fucking rapey men. Um, so I would suggest you don't be those men. I would suggest, I would suggest we get to the kingdom of heaven because until that point happens, I think we're kind of caught. Okay. So the next thing, Manada, right? Like Yoda, but Manada. Hey. And then you got this track, Yo Play. I'm silly, but it's also hyphenated like Jay Z, and I think that's the thing that got them to. Ultimately, it's like the question. First of all, what is it? Hey, it's a question. You get it? So yo, play. I'm playing. It's also like, am I just incredibly lucky, or is this probably I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh, and this is just manna? Da. Da is yes in Russian. I'm not a Russian spy. At this point, Russia doesn't look like they can fucking fight anything anyway. So I mean, just actually, it looks like they're getting their butt handed to them by Ukraine using like American equipment to some degree and stuff. But this is what I'm like. If America actually fought Russia, you think Russia has a chance? I don't even think Russia has a chance if like Poland and fucking all these other countries join in, let alone America. But okay, Star Catch. My guess is this is where I catch these stars. Yo play hyphenated. Oh, hey, is this where I catch that these stars are acting like rapey kind of shitheads towards me? Like yo dash play J dash Z? Yeah, probably. That's what I'd suggest. At some point, even if people don't want to believe this, at some point when I do prove this out greater, and I'm just like, haven't I been saying this shit for how long? Look, even the ambush fucking Reese's Puffs thing is behind my head. Like, it's not hard to figure out who you would need to like in Japan, who you'd need to go to like fuck with me, right? And I also think they think the Yahweh thing has something to do with the Yakuza. No, you guys are idiots. I mean, actually, you think this is some gang related shit? There's a bigger, much more powerful gang that is would be connected, but it ain't the Yakuza. Okay, so Starcatch. Yo play Starcatch. Seems like I caught a star. Probably this why at the Fort Church, dealing with Jezebel, you get the Iron Rod, Shebet Brazil or Rabdos Sideros, Shebet Brazil, Shebet Brazil, she bet Brazil and lost. You get it? Uh, was that Beyonce who did that? Probably. And once that happens, everything's mine. Iron Rod, I'm gonna bop you over the head with it and take my food. Uh, Starcatch, because I caught these people who like otherwise would be. I even think in one of the videos that I looked at where I'm watching like Sean Ryan being interviewed by someone who's not. It's not on the Sean Ryan show. I'm pretty sure the guy's like hinting like Beyonce and Jay Z are on the wall behind him, and they're talking about contractors, and it's like I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just contractors, right? Like Beyonce and Jay Z, these celebrities, they're just being paid by like, different institutions to act like shitheads because, well, the CIA can't take a direct action. They can pay someone off to do it. What do you think the whole Diddy and Epstein shit is about? Why do you think Epstein got Epsteined? Shit's clearly happening, right? Yeah, it clearly is. Anyway, okay. Here it is in Arabic. You can see it in Arabic. You can see it in MNW. MW? Mana. Uh, folk dash etymological. Persian. Judeo Persian spelling of man. But the word man is like, man, like mana. Oh, I like this. Manna, the bread from heaven that fed the Israelites for 40 years of wilderness and wanderings, means what is it? Whatness, so to speak. That is manna, so called from the question about it. Manna. Man, you know, go down, man. Who, what, whatsoever. It's a question. Whomsoever, what. You get it from this. It says, like, what, who, why, whatever. You know, end for good, howsoever long nothing thing thou what whereby wherefore wherein whereto wherewith to what end. So okay, you got these words. Let's keep going. uh this is mana, but it was like a different form from the Greek, and I tapped it, and it's uh hey, baby talk, onomatopoeic, like an onomatopoeia of baby talk, mama. So like mama, mammy, mother's breast. I do like breasts. um That's the thing. I don't think these gay men are really appreciating the women that would, otherwise they aren't even connected to them. Like they don't, these women don't feel appreciated. I wonder why. Because you're making bad choices with who you're connecting yourself with. I think me with a huge super harem would be enough to affect change that would actually change the world. Like literally. But like for some reason they're empowering these kind of shithead abusive. I don't even think they're like I want to say gay men, but I'm just trying to prove the point that they aren't, that they're using their sexuality in ways which they're just lying about. Like I don't think Jay-Z's a straight man. I mean, at least not all the way. And same thing with like Jay Electronica. Uh, there's some other people, but I even saw a thing where it's like Tupac before he was all before he had a shaved head and stuff when he was like 17, and he's very feminine and like very effeminate, not very feminine, but very effeminate, much more so than he was later on. And it's like he's an act. He's like a theater kid that like got too much into gang culture, and like I think was like really thought. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the fuck the dude thought, but like, I can tell you this: it's like, well, fuck, if you're gonna kill me, just kill me already. I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like, I'm not gonna do it myself. That's for damn sure. So, like, actually, I don't see any reason to do it. I'll be here as long as I can. But it is what it is. Oh, keep accidentally touching stuff. Um, okay, so you got Latin for ambrosia, the food of the gods, ambrosia, the unguent of the gods, the plant artemisia of the genus Artemisia, an antidote to poison. Oh, hey, was I poisoned down and the antidote is Alessandra Ambrosio? My elf queen? Maybe. Maybe. My elf queen with a little cave woman daughter? And they're both my daughters too? And my dogs? Neato. Cool. Uh Okay, so this is what I actually found interesting. You see a whole bunch of etymological. We'll just go to etymology two here. Um, it says immortal ambrotos, which seems to be actually if you it's connected to amortos or something, which is a Sanskrit word or something. But I actually wonder if I went back into the Hebrew if there's if it was yeah, I mean it very well could be because so much is like actually from derived from Hebrew because it's just older than a lot of this other stuff and languages. But then you go to like and it says like oh it's a proto Indo-European. That's where English is actually from. It's like most of the words we speak are like first of all the entire script is based on Hebrew. 22 letters in Hebrew, 24 letters in Greek, 26 letters in Latin, Roman, whatever. It's clearly from Hebrew, like or Phoenician or whatever. Which Phoenicians and the ancient Phoenicians were just one of the enemies of the Hebrew, one of the enemies of the Jews, the Hebrew people. Guess what? They ain't around anymore. Guess who still is? Oh, the Hebrews. Well, they it's probably theirs to begin with, actually. In the same way, this whole Israel Palestine stuff, it's like again, those are just Arabs larping as Palestinians. But okay. Um, Cognate with Sanskrit, Amarta, elixir of life, which may be also from Doctor Strange. Kamartaj, I would assume is some kind of connected word. Elixir of life, immortality, food, nectar of the gods. And then, so I found this interesting. There's a list of 7 things here, and it says ambrosia, elixir of life, food, perfume, unguent of the gods, immortality, simulated divine ambrosia used in religious rites, name of some medicines, festival of Bacchus. Also, you can see ambrosia, different declinations. You can see in the least one of them is ambrosio, right? Oh, it must be in one of the other tables. But in one of the other tables, it just shows that uh, Ambrosio and Ambrosia are right. Okay. You got different descendant words, and then so this is the point where I put this in here like this, and you can see the. I'm gonna just turn this sideways for a sec. You can see these 7 things here, and we'll get more into that because I think, as I point out, the 7 churches of Asia, 7 meanings in this Wiktionary. I mean, and then they line up. What? So hold on. So the Septuagint translation of the Old Testament in Greek. It's called such because 70 rabbits or rabbis came to the conclusion, like, worked together in a council to make this version. Then you can see this here. It's Greek English lexicon of the Septuagint. Um, so I downloaded it, and then here's the Greek English lexicon of the Septuagint. And then so I just looked up the word ambrosios, and oh, hey, it's the one match found. And it is here, it says divine heavenly, Wiz 1921. Okay, so I went to, in my Jerusalem Bible here, I went to Wisdom 1921. And it talks about the Exodus. Oh, hey, so it's talking about the manna from heaven. And oh, it's the word heavenly, like heavenly food. The ambrosius, uh, then I so heavenly is the word, and then heavenly food. And then we go here and we look at, okay, well, what, like, let's go back to the Greek. So now we know what is being translated. And so here's the Greek translation: that cats. Hey, my kitty cat. Cats LXX Septuagint, and then you go to the Wisdom 19 portion and 1921, and you can see the words there, and it literally says on the right side, you can just see it says ambrosial food, right? Um, and I actually like this book, the Book of Wisdom. I actually like this portion. It's like thus the elements when it's talking about the what God did for the First of all, also here, when it's talking about Sodom here, it says Egypt more blameworthy than Sodom. Notice it didn't say anything about butt fucking. Why? Because that's not what sodomy is. Sodom literally means volcanic. By the way, in Hebrew, volcanic. Um, the issue with what happened at Sodom was they tried to rape angels. So, yeah, that doesn't go over well with Yahweh. That's the case. The whole town tried to gang rape angels. Uh, it wasn't about butt sex. Just FYI. When I'm saying like, hey, Alessandro Brojo, bring your butt. One moment. When I'm saying bring your butthole, Alessandro Brojo or whomever. Uh, Come on, doggy, come. My cat just licking buttholes or something. Anyway, uh, sniffing buttholes. No, it's about abuse, a situation of abuse that was like literally connected to rape. So don't let anybody tell you it's about something else. That's again just more lies to keep convince people to not be Christians. Okay, nature refashioned in accidents. And notice this says Egypt more blameworthy than Sodom, and it's because they invited the people in. It wasn't just that they, like, did this evil thing to them. They treated them well at the beginning, and then, uh, oh, hey, on the sinners, however, punishments rain down, not without violent thunder, as an early warning. Oh, with all the lightning shit going on here with insane fucking thunder, you might expect, hey, that's a good warning sign. Stay the fuck away unless I'm asking you to come, and then you should fucking come. Alessandro Ambrosio. I want you to come a lot and hard, but come. You and Aja, come. Uh, Let's talk. Sit right here. Let's talk. Let's talk on camera and like engage me on what I'm saying here because something's going on and you guys are actively playing a part, right? Okay. Um, but anyway, I'm not. Long story short, Egypt did some evil shit where they were like, before, like Joseph saved Egypt, and then after a bit of time, they were treated as slaves. And then when they were slaves, they didn't let them leave, even when fucking Egypt was collapsing because Pharaoh's heart was hardened. That's literally how the Book of Revelation goes. That is what the idea of the beast is, and the beast emperor and stuff like that, and Satan and shit. It's just Pharaoh, like over the whole world, essentially. So, just so you get it. Okay, nation refashioned in the Exodus. Thus, the elements interchange their qualities, as on a harp. You're not gonna hear the Quran talking about harps and shit because to Allah, 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 to Allah, music is from Satan. I mean, actually. So to all these artists that I'm like putting these mixes and shit together, and I clearly like music and stuff like that, these are the people that I'm going up against that you're empowering. People that literally consider music Satan, which is why you hear and all these stupid fucking like throat gutter, like whatever they're singing over loudspeakers and shit. There's no music to it. Why? Because they're not allowed. Because it's from Satan. That's how stupid that bullshit is. I mean, actually, you actually believe that shit? That's what a stupid fucking fan fiction can do to people. Is like make them brainless idiots. All right. That dude who stabbed Mary or whatever that guy's thing is was shouting Allah Akbar, and he like stabbed the guy in Australia recently because he rightly called out that Islam is a farce and that these people are like fucking they follow a false prophet and shit. And it's like, you talk about our false prophet like that, I'll kill you. It's like, yeah, the Bible says there's gonna come a time when people kill you thinking they're doing the work of God. I mean, of Allah, because Allah is a word meaning deity. It's a feminine word meaning deity. Literally, you put the hey, the Allah, the because in Hebrew, just al or el or al is a word meaning deity or God, a mighty thing. Elohim is a plural masculine, generally used for Yahweh, who's saying he is, I am the gods. To all the Nation of Islam people, none of them are gods. Yahweh is the gods, all of them. You get it? None of those people are gods. Is it because they're black? No, it's because no flesh creature, flesh, right, is God. Except by the end of the book of Revelation, there is one person who is God in the flesh. Emmanuel. Okay, you get it? I'll give you a hint. Probably the guy that's talking right here is the closest thing that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, we aren't that far into the book, and so I'm not claiming that. I'm claiming I'm the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia, which sets me up to be the guy on the throne, and probably if I'm the guy on the throne in the kingdom of heaven at the highest rank, they might call that guy God. I'm not calling myself God. I may make jokes and allusions towards whatever, but I'm just very plainly making this point, and I made this point. And anybody that's claimed I've said anything else other than jokingly, you're lying. Or yokingly, because I might be yoking. Anyway, you're lying. Okay. Thus, the elements interchange their qualities as on a harp. The notes may change their rhythm though all the while preserving their tone. This clearly appears from a scrutiny of the events. Creatures that live on land became aquatic, and those that swim emerged on land. Fire forgot increased its own virtue in the water. In other words, it got bigger. Fire didn't usually do that. Water forgot its property of extinguishing fire. Flames, on the other hand, would not scorch the flesh of animals, however frail that ventured into them, nor would they melt the manna, that heavenly food like hoarfrost, as easily melted. Hoarfrost is snow. Um, so heavenly food, uh, and that would be Ambrosius uh, Trophis or Trophy. Is Alessandra Ambrosio my trophy wife? I mean, is Alessandra and Andre Ambrosio my trophy? Is the whole Ambrosio family my trophy wife? That'd be cool. They're all very beautiful. I would like that. But okay, Trefo, to maintain or support. Is she my sugar mama? Is she maintaining and supporting me? I don't know. It doesn't look like anybody. It doesn't even look like my real mom's doing that. I mean, other than I get to live here at home. Um, Nourishment, food, that which provides or procures sustenance, a meal, nature, nurture, I mean, rearing, upbringing, educating, a place where animals are reared. And then also you go trophy and you look up um, food, nourishment, synonym, fagito, less formal, fi? Simi Hayes, you got anything to say about this? The word fagito is like I'm pretty sure the eating aspect of eating food sacrificed. Okay, the eating thing is mentioned in Revelation. That's the word for eating, I think. Um, food, or maybe that's the word for food. Whatever. If we go to the word food, in fact, I might as well do this. Just make this point. It's already long enough. It's gonna be this long anyway. I might as well be thorough. Um, so eating food sacrificed to idols is the thing, right? Okay, that they had they casted. Is that the casting couch? It could be. To have casted a trap to the sons of Israel that they Fagian. So to ballo, Ballo, to throw, cast, put, thrust. It's also where the word diabolo, like Diablo, right? Just so you get what this is saying. Go to Revelation, what is it, 20? Uh, Diabolos, right? Prone to slander, just someone who's lying and uses like slander and perjury and stuff to destroy people's lives, a false accuser, to these women who made false accusations, and to Nick Vo, who seemingly knows what the fuck is actually going on and has lied about it. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. That's what basically people are, seemingly pointing out. So if you've done something really evil and perjured yourself, either you were unaware or you're aware and you're corrupt. It seems like people are pointing that you're corrupt, but I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be fair here, you know, because I'm not just gonna slander someone without, any evidence or with evidence saying the opposite. Does that make sense? But I'm just using this person as a point because this has happened to me and it destroyed my life. And clearly, there's something going on around that, like, no, it's actually something is going on around. So anyway, when you click this, Diabolo, it's a combination to throw over, to slander, to cross someone. Oh well, let's see. Dia through, like by, by reason of or something, And balo, hey, it's that word that we just looked at. So someone that's throwing traps in front of, and this is the word, a scandal. Oh, so someone scandal on, scandal on, a movable stick or Trigger of a trapstick, a trap, a snare. Someone who's putting traps, a bint. Oh, bint. Hmm. Trapstick. Scandal. A cause of displeasure or sin. Occasion to fall, a stumbling, something that has tripped me. A stumbling block. Offense. Oh, so if someone's putting those in front of me and it's killing me, if I defend myself and I kill that person, I'm okay, right? Because if they're throwing them, first of all, that would be illegal. Second of all, that would be like crippling me and hurting me, right? So if that person, well, I wouldn't kill, but if someone happened to go and do that, because it was causing so many people problems, like literally, obviously, you can see the, lightning stuff's going on, and it would be connected to probably if you're pissing Yahweh off and you're seeing the extreme weather stuff that's going on and everything, and people are dying and losing a lot of money because of it, because of some corrupt people that are abusing me here in Houston. Uh, you know, if some people just happen to take up arms against you or something, I mean, hey, I'm not saying I'm just here. I don't own any weapons. I'm just a guy, right? I'm just some loser who lives at home with his parents, right? But probably if I knew the Punisher or something, he might go and do that, huh? Hmm. I like comic books, so anyway, hey, Fago, get it to eat a thing. Did eat meat. Eaten. Okay. All right. So is that the thing that I'm talking about? Sacrifice to idols to gay dudes to make some kind of rapey point towards me? Seems like it. Seems like some evil shit like that, huh? It seems like literally an ancient book calling you out on doing this would probably say you tried to trap me and now you're trapped in the fact that you're a bunch of fucking rapist shitheads. But, don't take my word for it. Take the book. Go read it yourself in the language that it's written in. Oh, to make grow, trefo, to make grow. So, heavenly, ambrosius, trefo, to make to make grow, to increase, to breed. Oh, someone bred my food? Alessander, Ambrosio, or to the Ambrosio women. Someone bred my food? You're my food and someone bred you? Or Maggie Moon, is that what has happened with you? And whatever the fuck is going on with Jay Z and Beyonce? Hmm. To maintain, support, to feed. Okay, well, we just keep going. Uh, here's this word from the Bible: to nourish, support, feed, to give suck, to fatten, to bring up, to nurture. Like sucking on a titty to get some milk. I would love some really high quality titty milk from some hot babes, uh, but not women that are my wives that would otherwise be attached to me like that. But from well, if that's the case, I would want to be the one, breeding and impregnating them, not other men doing that to make some kind of rape point towards me. That would be why people would be thrown in a burning lake. It'd make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? I don't think any man would be okay with that, huh? And if they were, well, I'm not. So don't do that shit to me. Anyway, one thing that I noticed is that again these seven, when it talks about I will feed from the tree of life set in God's paradise, and all this has to do with feeding, doesn't it? Probably the seven churches of Asia thing is something's trying to create fake rules around sexuality around me, lock me up over these issues, and then abuse me over the things. And so something would throw you into a burning lake if you participated in that, and you are tortured forever, and you are condemned as rapey shitheads. And I would suggest probably anybody that you're connected to, they would also be facing that, which is why I would suggest they give you up, and you get thrown in that, and they spare themselves. Right? That's been the offer. It's only going to get. I'll say this: it's only going to be a lot cooler than the burning torture that they're going to be in. So, or you know, you would all be in, but I would suggest anybody that is watching this, give those people up. Save yourself. Infinite burning torture is not something fun to go in. The idea of like, oh, I might give my life like, to not talk, to not rat on someone, you shouldn't give your infinite life. Your when people say the afterlife is the afterlife, well, I guess in that instance, with the kingdom of heaven, it's not really an afterlife. It's just going to be here in actual reality, and people live forever. It's not like some far off place in the clouds or some shit. That's goofy. I do think we'll be able to go as far, into infinity and beyond, but that's after we get to the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So ambrosia affirmation. The seven definitions of ambrosia in Greek match closely with the seven gifts I get for being victorious. Victorious secret at the seven churches of Asia. One, ambrosia. So I just reiterate right here. That's this thing, right? We've already gone over that, but that's the seven things here. So you got ambrosia. Eat from the tree of life. It's the food of the gods. It's immortality. Okay, the tree of life makes you immortal. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds exactly right. The second one, elixir of life. Hey, the crown of life. That sounds like the elixir of life. Oh, huh, okay. I mean, I could get more into it, but okay, that's close enough. Let's keep going. The third one, food, perfume, unguent of the gods. Okay, the third one, hidden mana. Hidden mana and a white stone with a new name written on it. I mean, it's because I'm going to be an Ambrosio Wilkins, and she's going to be an Ambrosio, Alessandra and Anja, and maybe their whole family is going to be the Ambrosio Wilkinses. That'd be cool. I'll say this. I would break tradition because this tradition of men. Uh, I like the name Ambrosio a lot. I think it is like very beautiful. That's actually, if you can go back in my videos, this is something I've said a lot. It is like one of the most beautiful names. I just rolls off the tongue. It's like I can't tell if it. Previously I was like, is it Italian? What is this? What is? It's like Italian, but she's fucking Brazilian and it's Portuguese, and like, what is this? So it's Greek, maybe something prior to that, but we'll just say it's Greek. It's a Bible word. I mean, is it? Well, kind of. I guess it's in the Septuagint. But Ambrosio, Ambrosia. I wouldn't mind. I can be Matthew Ray Ambrosio Wilkins. Matthew Ray Ambrosio Wilkins. Oh, okay. We're bros. Uh, but also that would make me from MRW to MRAW, and that would make me Imra. Hoorah. Imra. Anyway. Uh, I just really like the name Ambrosio. But yeah, that would be cool. I'll hyphenate my name and add her name to mine because this is a dope name. I mean, actually, there's not a lot of name. That might be one of the only names that I'd ever do that with. But I really think that name is like, damn, I'm exotic now. Uh, okay. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I am yoking, but I'm not joking. Uh, okay, immortality. The iron rod and the morning star. And I would suggest that, okay, being like not just a star, but the biggest star, eating from the tree of life, and then having the iron rod, which is like, okay, I have the right hand to exert on anything and do anything. Like like nothing would be able to defeat me. After the fourth church, I'm invincible. Immortality. I mean, that's what it is. So, uh, and I would suggest that's probably because like the OS after that point, the operating system is mine. Okay, operator, ring ring, operator, tier 3 through 1. I don't even have to call up the tier 0. We're just we're just connected. Does tier 0 operators exist? To Yahweh, they do. I believe they're called angels. Anyway, simulated divine number 5. Simulated divine ambrosia used in religious rites. I would suggest that's the white robes. Put on the white robes. A number of things the white robes represent. It doesn't just represent purity. It does seem to represent like superpowers. Like from the book of Job when he says like, "Hey, if your arm can thunder as loud, put on your like robe yourself in majesty." Okay, Fifth Church, wake up, robe yourself in majesty, white robes. and your name will not be blotted out of the book of life because it was just a test. And the thief doesn't take what's mine because I'm awake. Yeah. I mean, I think, right? Is that what it is? Because that's what it feels like. It seems like. I think I'm awake. Am I awake? Number 6, name of some medicines. Right? Just I'm just going down the list of the things. Name of some medicines, right? Okay. Name of some medicines. At the six churches, Jesus like, I'll make you a pillar in the temple of my God, a God who heals people, right? See, Jesus goes around healing people. I'll write on you the name of my God, the name of the New Jerusalem, and my own new name as well. I say Jesus' own new name. Those are all the name Yahweh. All right, there you go. Congrats. The name of the God and His Father is Yahweh. Exodus 3:14 is very clear. It's my name for all generations. We have not passed all generations. I, you, everybody else is still part of generations. All right. Yeah. And then number 7, a festival of Bacchus. I'm like, well, to sit down on the throne of Yah with Jesus, and then you're the Lord, King in the kingdom of heaven, and I can't imagine the kingdom of heaven isn't just a party into eternity. And when all these people are like, I'd rather be in hell where there's a real party, it's like, no, no, no. Hell gets dumped into a burning lake, and it's just torture forever. It has you are literally dropped into infinite burning stasis. Torture is your reality. What you're thinking of is called heaven, the kingdom of heaven. Yes, the party into eternity. It's not just like playing ding dong ding ding doom doom harps up in the clouds. Blah, blah, blah. No, it is an infinite party here on Earth with infinite resources. Nothing fucks it over. You don't even have to worry about security because there ain't nobody to fuck with the party. Everybody's just in the party. That's what it is. Probably drones and shit will do the security, but ain't nobody gonna be doing anything because all the all the shitty people burning like the it'll be like this. Look, the punishment, the like what you're already getting is just infinitely better than what even the most well-off person already has here. You don't die. It's like a party into eternity. I'm sure all your needs are met beyond what your expectations are and could be. And the punishment for if you did fuck up would be burning lake, and you've already seen people thrown in that. You know how terrible it is. Why would you even try to go into that for like anything that you want? You can probably get. I can't imagine that you couldn't, because everything is infinite at that point. So, I just expect everything to be good at that point. Like, no, who's fighting over resources? Like, if you're like a thief or something, you're just in the burning lake. Like, nobody wants you to be around. Just mend your ways, and you can be in the infinite party. I mean, that's what it is. And so I said festivals of Yah because in the Old Testament, all these festivals that you see people going to, they pale in comparison to the festivals from the Old Testament, where like every Jew would go to these festivals. So you got millions of people at these festivals, and they're just crazy parties. Like you celebrate Yahweh at the party. Okay, now the kingdom of heaven is in that, and it's a return to Eden. So the whole world is Eden, the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Luxury. And yeah, I mean that's what it seems like to me. So just to reiterate though, number 3 and 4, food, perfume, unction of the gods, and immortality. So number 3 and 4 have to do here with eating food sacrificed to idols, and then getting hidden manna and white stone. So you do get some form of ambrosial food, and at the fourth church you get the iron rod and the morning star. Like you are like the sun. If there's the stars, Jay-Z and Beyonce are stars. I'm gonna be the fucking sun. You understand that? So whatever stars they think they are, I'm the sun. Do you get why fucking with me like this is gonna be a problem? You do not want to be Jezebel. Also, the threat to Jezebel is Yahweh's going to kill your kids. Yahweh's going to kill you. Yahweh's going to throw any men that you're cheating with into extreme distress. When it says, I will test them severely, it's putting it lightly. I think the Greek says I will put them into tribulation. And tribulation is like, the same as when it says I'm going to throw, at the second church, I'm going to throw you. I tell you, you must face an ordeal for 10 days. The devil's going to send some of you to prison to test you, and you must face an ordeal for 10 days. You must to you're gonna be tested, and you're gonna face a pressure, a thalipsis for 10 days or something like that for a period of trial. I don't think it's an actual 10 days. I already think that's happened. That's why I think we're at the third and fourth church because I think they thought they could get away with it, but doesn't look like it. Okay. So ambrosia affirmation. So this is when I was typing this at 7:25. The third definition of ambrosia clearly deals with the food, and third church deals with food, and the third church deals with food, a euphemism for sex that has two s's, so that has uh, been sacrificed to idols, being used as traps against me. The fourth definition of ambrosia is, and that's the Greek form, is immortality, and the fourth church is about killing Jezebel, who's a woman that has been teaching people to set sexual traps, i.e., rape traps, because it is a form of rape. It is only in our modern day broken ass society that this would not be considered a form of rape against me. If I'm connected to these women and you're using them to abuse me and beat me over the head, and I'm physically like ailing because of in the least a psychosomatic connection to them that is only shared with me and them because of how hard they've tried to pair themselves with me, like some kind of fucking Bluetooth thing, y'all are fucked. That's what I'm getting at with this. If you're using these women as rape traps against me and they aren't actually connected to you, you are fucked. So to these men who are pretending to be strong men, you are not strong men, you are weak pussies. Yahweh is going to fucking deal with you. You understand that, right? I will throw her onto a sickbed, and those who commit adultery with her into great tribulation unless they repent of her works, and I will strike her children dead. And this is also the point, the fourth church coincides with the fourth seal, the fourth trumpet, and the fourth plague. At the fourth seal, there is a pestilence, a literal plague, along with war, famine, and wild animals that kills a fourth of the world's population. I also want to say this: all this shit about like 4 billion people dying that I have seen from they're talking about like, oh, it's the Georgia Guidestones or like the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. By the way, I put something in my hard drive, like the meeting in John Wick 4 with the Ruska Roma, and like I recorded the thing, and I'm gonna put it in one of my mixes. But in the same way that when Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Z stuff hit my thing, literally that day, Akira Toriyama has an aneurysm and dies. Apparently, Klaus Schwab was uh, hospitalized, and in the way that one of them ends is the guy's going, and these are the only two things that have entered my hard drive in the past 3 weeks. I mean, that have entered my music library. The guy goes, "I am Klaus," and then he hits John Wick, and then he goes, "I'm John," and then the guy goes, "I am Klaus," and then knocks John Wick out, and then Klaus Schwab is hospitalized. Is that true that Klaus Schwab has been hospitalized? If so, I mean that should this should tell you that when shit hits my fucking like music library at this point, it's deadly. The art that I'm making is deadly. So if that's the actual case that Klaus Schwab has actually been hospitalized, that should fucking terrify you. Okay. Oh hey, look, it's Jay Z. Uh. Okay, you got these things, and then so this is where, and then so the idea of this is like, I just want to point this out so that you got A and B, right? So it's looking at, well, you can go to A or B site and pick which site you go to, and I just chose to go to B site. And that one is the one, is Beyonce Jezebel. Is she teaching these other women to sacrifice their sexuality to idols because she's just a jaded, horrible woman that's like wanting to abuse me because I'm not black enough or I'm not white enough or I talk too much shit, or I don't know. She doesn't like Houston anymore. She ain't ever here, so I don't know why people in this city even care. Like, what the? Oh, we have someone from Houston that's so famous. She's just, it's like shit talking us. This ain't Texas. This ain't Hold'em. Yeah, it's not Texas because your ass is never in Texas. You're barely fucking here. You're in your fucking $250 million, $250 million mansion in fucking Malibu. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You are not the people. All right. Um. Oh, because she's a black woman, she's oppressed anyway. No, get the fuck out of here. I'm not. I certainly am not falling for that one. So anyway, at this point, like here in America, if you have money, and I'm gonna say this, race, it's I don't think it's ever really just been about race. I think it's about how the people in positions of power can manipulate this group of people against that group of people, i.e., white people against black people, in order to prevent any of those people from getting close to the people in positions of power. Thus, I ain't giving a fuck about race. I don't give a fuck about race. I mean, I think it's just a tool that people use. Being mixed race has only taught me that I'm neither accepted by. I'm not accepted by either race. I don't give a fuck about either race. I think you're all bullshitters. I think you're all liars. I think humans are liars. I look at people as humans, and all of you are fucking. You don't even get close to as good as you should or can be. That's how I look at it. If you don't like it, prove me wrong. Be better. I mean, actually, be better fucking people. I'm so fucking disappointed in Beyonce and Jay Z and all these people that at one point I might have respected, especially like Beyonce. I was like, Destiny's Child, let's go. I went with my parents. Like, I just remember, like, I remember Gold Member. You know what I mean? I used to actually like have some respect and like I loved Beyonce growing up, and then she just turns into like some evil whore that's trying to prove some kind of rapey point, and it turns out to be specifically to me. I mean, fuck you actually. So okay, whatever. It hurts me. So it's like that's the point, and she's just happy to be paid off to be that. And again, like here in Houston, oh, she can throw a little chump change at like the Beyonce Tenemos housing homeless people. I mean, shit, dude, I've been robbed so much. Like, you think if I had as much money as she did, first of all, I'd have more if people weren't just robbing me all the time. But you don't think that like that I would be like taking more care of people here in Houston with that money? I definitely would not have a 250 million dollar mansion in Malibu. And if I did, I would have to have a lot more money than like $1 billion or $2 billion. You get it? So just FYI. And part of my point is like, well, why do they act like this? Because they got $250 million mansion, they got to pay the bills, and like those bills just keep coming every month. Every month you're paying millions of dollars in taxes and fucking bullshit. So no wonder she's demoted to doing fucking T-Mobile commercials and shit these days. Okay, so this I just happened to as like that night I happened to have watched this video, and it was about this thing. Yeah, later on you see here it's like Iron Man, after finding out Miles Morales was kidnapped and tortured by someone called the Assessor, and it was something like a comic book thing that I saw on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, it's like a interesting thing. Ah. And so this is the Assessor, and immediately when I was watching, I was like, is that the fucking G-Man from Half Life? Like he even sounds kind of like the it's a comic book, but they had it voiced over by whatever because it's like one of these things. In fact, why don't we just watch? I mean, I can show you that I just clipped out these things, right? But I can just I think I can just pull this up. I don't want this to be copyright struck, but it's not. It's like, oh, let's see. Hold on. Hey, they will try to replace you, but it will fail. Yeah, I know. Food sacrificed to idols is going to kill these people. Oh, yeah. Anyway, um, the fuck was I? Okay, I spelled assessor wrong, but it doesn't matter. This is it.
That messing with probably all of us know that probably all of us
Probably all of us know that. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Jay-Z knows that. And Beyonce, it doesn't seem like a lot of these people know that. But I'm sure they will soon.
Probably all of us know that messing with superheroes is a bad idea.
You can see this, right? Nope. Now you can. Alright. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Probably all of us know that messing with superheroes is a bad idea.
If you need to read a strip, just pause it.
Probably all of us know that messing with superheroes is a bad idea. So what happens when Tony Stark finds out that...
I'm gonna remove myself from it so that you can see, just because I can't. Well, actually, you know, if you wanna see this, watch the video yourself. I'm just gonna keep myself on the screen, but here's the link. You can follow this link and watch it. Okay.
Superhero, probably all of us know that mess...
And this is from Comic Stories, and there's definitely enough fair use stuff for me to make this, fair use because I've given enough of my commentary, and it also just seems to be an IP directly ripped from me because the assessor is located in Brooklyn, and guess who else is from and located? Well, is he still located in Brooklyn? But seems to be an AI working out of Brooklyn. Oh, Jay-Z, right? Oh, Brooklyn. Hey!
Messing with superheroes is a bad idea. So what happens when Tony Stark finds out that a villain once kidnapped Miles Morales, subjected him to torture, and nearly ended his life? We are in New York City and we see Tony Stark eating sushi with Miles Morales.
So, is there anything I can help out with?
You ever heard of a guy called the Assessor?
Miles recounts how he was abducted by this individual who subjected him to numerous tests to assess his powers.
He did what?
He describes being frozen, shocked, and even cut during these tests.
You know, kid, this guy does sound like someone I...
As I've been saying this, something's trying to test me like I'm in some fucking secret lab, and I've had to throw my own secret lab up in this bitch right in the middle of it and show you should not do that. It's a unwise idea to say the least.
want to meet.
During
Probably this is how I turn into Iron Man. You know the one she bet Brazil? She bet Barzell? The Rod of Iron?
these tests,
The thing that the Monkey King has and the thing, Goku has, the thing, and he flies around on a thing. Okay, this is how probably not how I get the clouds, right? But the Nimbus, but probably is how I get the Iron Rod, because that's what it says.
You know, kid, this guy does sound like someone I want to meet.
In other words, this is how I become Iron Man. It's because this is what Iron Man is based off. Because this is how I get the AI to recognize, like, yo, again, they are just straight up, this is just directly out of my reality. So it's like Marvel can claim it's their intellectual property all they want. This is clearly just happening to me, right? At a certain point, there's enough of these that I've brought up where it's just like, whatever I'm running into is just out of my reality as far as what these like comic book things are. If I make the allegory, like even this, look. What do you think? What do you think? You think this is an Iron Man like suit? I mean, it doesn't look that off. You get what I'm saying? Uh, is it exactly the same? No, but neither is the G-Man. And I mean, even this is it's like J, Z, right? Hyphenated. Okay, the G-Man. Okay, and actually, so gay Z. Okay, so and if he's mad that I'm saying that, blame Nas. And you are not going to beat Nas in a lyrical battle. At least you haven't up to this point. So, okay.
Tony instantly starts tracking him down and explains that he knows a thing or two about being kidnapped.
I know that feeling. You're scalp itching, waiting for that bullet every day. But I was a man, an adult, not a kid.
Yeah, like when I was a kid when this started. But it seems like I'm a man now. Probably.
He manages to track down the location.
Hey, look, he's in Brooklyn. But it's not enough to hide its tracks. Once I isolated the command channel the assessor was using to control it and decrypted it, it was just a matter of tracking to the source. Brooklyn, he moved his operation after Miles escaped, but didn't even change boroughs. Smug, well, I've got something for that. I mean, is it actually in Brooklyn? I don't know, it's the G-Man. It seems like something out of Washington or something, but Which Washington, the state or the, DC? Yes.
And without hesitation, he prepares to confront him.
Assessor!
Assessor's guards start shooting at Tony, but in his rage, he swiftly blasts them away, expressing his disappointment in them.
Quit your crying. If Spider-Man knew the Punisher instead of me, you'd have come off a lot worse.
Yep. I think this is how I'm letting on to Punisher. It's about time you start going to work on these people that are messing with me. Because it's causing a lot of problems. And if I'm Iron Man and they're trying this shit to me, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Right? Problem for other people too. So this shit needs to end. So to all the Punishers out there, to the Punisher, some ex-Special Forces kind of guy, me here, Matthew Ray Wilkins, the one with the iron rod, Ray Wilkins, Ray Wilkins, either one of the, World War II or Vietnam vet, and then probably the only reason I'm not in the military myself is because, he told me do not join. Why? Because multiple generations of my family were forced to join. I get a chance not to be that. I get to be like Solomon to his David. I get to build the temple, whereas Yahweh did not want David to build the temple because of all the blood on his hands. But, yeah, looks like I'm more like Solomon, someone wise. But there's a greater wisdom than Solomon here, so nonetheless, let's keep going.
He goes to the other room.
Also, harem a hot babe, like 1,000 wives, hundreds of concubines, okay. But more than that, so yeah.
Where he finds
144,000 virgins on Mount Zion. That's why it's like something, there's a wisdom here that's greater than Solomon. You get it? Yeah.
more guards with a machine gun. But once again,
Do you people not watch the news? I am Iron Man.
but that's when Quantum shows up.
Did he just teleport his fist in my helmet?
He grabs him and teleports him to the assessor. The assessor addresses Tony as a subject, which makes him even more mad, and then proceeds to explain that he's going to put Tony's suit to a trial. But Tony blasts through the wall, only to find himself in an aerodynamics test room. He manages to destroy the tunnel, but that
This literally just seems like some shit straight out of Half-Life 2. Like, that seems exactly like some shit G-Man would do.
That's when his suit gets put to even more challenges. Electricity, water, fire, robots. Tony's suit withstands them all.
Just take a step closer, and I'm going to destroy you.
Part of my point, though, is if some AI is testing me, it's only being allowed by some group of people. And my point is that that group of people has friends and family, and Yahweh can strike at any of them and slowly, over time, give them cancers and evil diseases that will kill them in a terrible way that you will not be able to prevent if you don't stop hurting me and my family. But specifically me. I can't speak for my family on everything, but I can speak for me. You need to end this game of abuse around me, especially when you see what fucking Jay-Z and Beyoncé and these assholes are doing. Or you can deal with the cancerous situation, which we'll look into. It's a thing, but clearly when, the King of England and Kate and Olivia Munn, and seems like a number of people just been dying, getting cancer recently. I mean, there's just like so many people have died around this situation that I would suggest stop.
After overcoming all the challenges, Tony finally manages to reach him, but Quantum once again attacks him.
Teleport signature paired.
Tony manages to easily outsmart Quantum using quantum entanglement.
It took a hell of a beating getting here, Assessor, just to look you in the eyes.
That's when we find out that Assessor is only an AI model. Tony explains that before
But there is someone allowing this AI model specifically to fuck with me. I would suggest you stop. If you value your life, you should end this. Immediately.
all of this, he deployed a couple of his Electo units, which destroyed most of Assessor's technology, making Assessor unable to broadcast himself out of this place.
In other words, Starcatch.
Come on, try to broadcast your persona out and away from this body to safety. You can't, can you?
Tony slams him to the ground and explains that he's now his prisoner. Assessor starts yelling no, but Tony simply raises his arm and downloads his consciousness. Tony
Anyway, I guess I could just be a child, you know. What am I talking about? Superhero shit, and then like, do I live in the real world? Like, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, I mean, I guess if I wasn't a dude that like you go to my YouTube and you can just see me do some shit like this, right? And let's watch this in silence real fast. Just watch. I mean, it ain't like that's the first time, nor is it the last time in my videos that happens. It's at this point, it's like very fucking obvious. I'm the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia. If you're fucking with me, you are killing the people you love most. And to the news, by not covering this situation, Yahweh is striking out at you in just this kind of way that I'm explaining because you're allowing people to abuse me. There needs to be an end to this immediately. I'm not fucking kidding. This is not a joke. I can be joking about everything else. You need to fucking end this immediately. I don't care how high this goes up. Everybody is at threat. This is a global threat. Literally, the end of the Bible is 4 billion people dying. Even the stuff that I was talking about with the fucking Klaus Schwab, whatever, is like when people are like, oh, the World Economic Forum, they're going to kill however many, when I'm seeing conspiracy theorists talk about this shit, it's like, you mean, okay, have you gotten to the end of the Bible? It just sounds like they're trying to intellectual property steal the thing at the end of the Bible. I mean, like actually, the Book of Revelation. It's anyway, I just like it's mind-boggling to me that this shit is still going on because people have died and people are going to continue to die over this until people stop fucking with me and make this right. When I'm saying Alessandra and Andrea and Brojo are my dogs, they need to be here. They are my dogs, literally. Unless are they the food sacrificed to idols? Then I'm gonna have to see some kind of fucking, or is she Jezebel? I'm gonna have to see some kind of fucking something's gonna have to make up for it, and I'm talking about immediately. I'm not fucking kidding. Like I'm really not kidding. So okay, I'm pretty much gonna end this here. But hey, look, it's the assessor. I mean, he even looks. This even looks like the assessor there. He looks a little bit less like it there, but even this one, I mean, straight up looks like that character from the thing. So okay. I don't really have anything else to add. I think I've gone over the whole. This is what I'll do. First, watch this one more time because clearly, I mean, what are you gonna? And even if you go to the thing in my on my YouTube, where it's like, what am I doing? Right, you just go down far enough, and you get to the point where it's like, hey, Emily Ratajkowska, Metal Gear Solid 4, Raiden, stuff like that. I'm not Raiden. I mean, I guess I'm Ray, like I Matthew Ray, but like the whole part in this where it's like, you got this character which might as well be Solid Old Snake. It might as well be Rayfield, like Junior, my dad, right? And then like Raiden or whatever, right? Hold on. That's the snake. There's a way. That the wait.
Run.
Wait.
Run.
And he has lightning going around him. And then there's a Z right there. Not like the Russian Z, but like the J C. When it says like the last Z or like the Dragon Ball Z, and or like the Omega. Okay, so the sword thing, right? He has a sword in his mouth, and you're like, what kind of weird Japanese stuff is this? And then you're like, oh, it's out of the Book of Revelation. Anyway, come on. Of my mouth. I should have just let it play once and then do it, but whatever. There. Okay, so that's when I pull lightning from the sky and. Oh, actually, so I was saying that, but that actually just might be that point where I'm talking about where Jezebel gets plagued down with like some kind of sickness. It's probably like Reshef or the biblical word that seems to be connected to the word seraph. It's a flame bolt or a disease. Is this a biolab as well? Yeah, it could be, I guess. It could be whatever you want for this shit to end. Though you can clearly see the actual lightning shit, and that should just be enough to get you to stop. Okay. I only got one more thing to add. Just like actually, um, and that is this. So I'm gonna close everything up. I'm gonna go here. These are the last things. Oh, hey, look, it's Emily Radakovska. Looks like she's trying to get some points over. It's like a mirror. It's like she's looking in a mirror. Yeah, if that was the case, you wouldn't act like such a rapey fucking asshole, and you would speak with your words. But since you don't, there's not a mirror. It's just you're a rapist shithead, and you're trying to make it seem like I don't know. You're trying to shirk your responsibilities and stuff like that. Again, she's one of these women that had a kid just after fucking getting my attention. She specifically had a kid to be like a rapey shithead. It's just what it is. And then Pre Ambrosio, hey, she got a red thread on her thing, but also it's kind of like a watch. Oh, hey, look, a 6-piece set of handmade 7 knots red style, red string, adjustable Kabbalah red rope chain, braided bracelet, amulet for protection, evil eye, and good luck. Anyway, I'm getting at the point is like the red thread, the red cord, Kabbalah. Is that what the Ambrosio family is into? Could be. So I'm just making the point here. It's also a 6-pack. So I got Alessandra, Andra, Aline, Pre, Lucilda, Tatiana? I don't know. Another one. We're 5 of them. Give me a 6-pack of Ambrosios. That'll make up for a lot of this. Give me all the Ambrosios that I just said. I want them all in my harem. I want them all to be my wife. And I want Alessandra and Andra to be my dogs. That'll make up for all this. Oh, will it make up for all this? I don't know, but it's a step. It's a good step. It's a great way to start. Making up for this. Hey, does that look like it's from New Orleans or something? I put it up here this weekend, like several days ago. So if someone was trying to get some kind of New Orleans point over to me, looks like I'm probably already ahead of the game. So anyway, So Alessandra with your friend wearing the New Orleans shirt. Okay, well. Okay. I don't really have anything else to add. Other than like, why the fuck are Beyonce and Jay-Z messing with me, and why are people not engaging it? Like, I would even just expect the people here in Houston, like, what do you think they actually care about this place? Like, Beyonce doesn't give a fuck about Houston. Actually, she barely does anything better for us than she would do at any other place, right? You would expect like a celebrity from here to like pump the city up. She doesn't do any of that. She just likes being able to say, I'm from Texas, I'm from Houston. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't actually give a fuck about this place. She doesn't spend time here really. You don't see her at fucking Rockets games. You don't see her at fucking maybe once in a blue moon. You know what I'm saying? It should be like, I mean, shit. If I have that money and I'm living here in Houston, you're gonna see me. I'll probably own the Dynamo. In fact, that's been my point. Also, I find it weird. The Dynamo are like, something weird is going on with the Dynamo. I'll put it like that. And they've definitely lied and slandered me on literal legal documentation that they sent to my mom, and it was just like it's provable, especially if I have enough resources to prove out that it's a lie. And that absolutely fucked with my reality. So I mean, really hurt me in a big way. That like, okay, should I sue them? Well, if someone helps me, sure, I'm happy to sue them because they need to make up for what they've done. But they're too busy like talking about how all their Muslim players are like doing Ramadan and shit, and it's just like this is a stupid fucking made up religion. Like it is in the least, at least Christianity and Judaism, you can go dig and you find the shit it talks about. Islam is like it is a fan fiction. It ain't even real. And I even left a thing recently. It's like when they're talking about Ramadan, like the Dynamo did this post. It's like these are how our athletes do during Ramadan, and almost every comment was like, "Why is there no post like this during Easter?" It was like literally like they make no religious posts about Christianity. They specifically make a post about Ramadan. First of all, nobody here in Houston, Texas gives a fuck about this fake ass religion. That's why you don't see the same kind of problems here that you have in other places. Even the Muslims here generally cooler than Muslims other places, right? But you don't see the same kind of problems at the same level that you see in like all these other cities because there's a spirit of Yahweh here, and Yahweh is not a knockoff. Yahweh is the thing that they're knocking off. Yahweh is Elohim. They got Allah, Aleph Lamed, Hey. Elohim is Aleph Lamed, Hey, Yod Mem. It's a plurality of male deities, not some female deity. Allah. And again, all of the Islam, all of Arabic, everything is a literal derivative of the Hebrew language or the Hebrew Bible, of the Hebrew this, that, or that. Well, not even just the Hebrew, the Old and New Testament. So, like the Injil, right, that you see, it's just the word evangelion. I mean, actually, Injil. You mean evangelion from Greek? Okay. And when people were like, "Oh, how would Muhammad have said this? There weren't Christians in Medina." It's like, yes, there were. There were Christians all around the Saudi Arabian Peninsula. There were also Jews. Guess what? They were forcibly either converted or executed because that's the way Islam works. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I think this is related to Islam or some bullshit. And I'm thinking probably that whatever this thing is that is talking about the Nicolaitans, the elites that they're doing this for are just some wealthy Arabs. I can in the least say that I'm pretty sure Beyonce and Jay-Z are owned by some wealthy Arabs. So that's just my guess. If I'm wrong, prove it to me. Explain to me how I'm wrong. I mean, prove me wrong, but I mean, let's talk it out. But they aren't going to want to actually engage this face to face. And by the time I can, end all this, it's like, well, it's not going to fucking matter because even if I was right or wrong, I'm still doing lightning shit and Allah doesn't even exist, let alone doing lightning shit. So the fact that Matthew Ray Wilkins seems to be more powerful than Allah should give you a hint. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Why Beyonce and Jay-Z are fucking with me is beyond me as far as like, I must be that I'm important. Well, why would I be important? I think I'm the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia. I think that means I've pulled the sword out of the stone, and instead of being just King of England, I'm gonna be King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it will be. So, and this is what it do. So, anyway, have a blessed one. That's it. It's a 3-hour video. It could be longer, I guess, but it could have been shorter, but it seems like it's just right. So, okay, that's where I'm ending it. Can we just end this shit, like, please? And can I get my dogs, please? Alessandra, Andra, can I get my doggies? Can I get my besties, my doggies over here? My ambrosial trofeo, my food, or is that the food sacrificed to idols? I guess we'll figure it out. That's my whole point. This shit's gonna be pulled into the light, and it's gonna be very uncomfortable for the people who've done this for me. As uncomfortable as they've tried to make me feel over the past 7 to 8 years that this has been going on to this degree. Because for 7 or 8 years, it's been going on at this level that I'm showing you. It has been going on like this. It's only in the past few years, I guess, since 2018 that I've been kind of able to more pull it out, and it's only been since like 2021 that I made the story and pictures in my phone where it's like it just got so obvious that they can't hide it anymore. Like whatever group of celebrity, whatever stars cartel. Well, I'm the sun. That's the biggest star that you fucking see every day. And the heat from that, when it starts scorching you with its rays, it's gonna cook your ass. So, Burning Lake is also gonna cook your ass. I just suggest stop. Change your mind. Metanoia. Change of mind. Okay, that's it. Please send me my dogs, Alessandra and Andra. I love my dogs. Yeah, I do. Anyway, later. Yeah.